Thursday night baseball here in Acushnet, Massachusetts. It's the Cranberry Baseball League getting back in action. It's WMUA Sports bringing you the presentation here. Cam, Sibert, and Justin Macagnan. Justin, I know it's your first game. How's it going?
Things are going good, Cam. It's another day at the office for me. We've all been suffering along in this pandemic, but now we got ourselves some action. Both the MLB and, of course, Cranberry Baseball going on tonight.
Absolutely. Here in Pope Park in Acushnet, Massachusetts, where the Bourne Mariners are getting set to take on the Acushnet Aztecs. It's a rematch of last Thursday's game a week ago today. These two teams faced off. Acushnet ended up losing that one in 4-0 fashion. Mariners able to hang on to that early lead they got in that game. I know you weren't there for that one, Justin. It was actually a real pitcher's duel in that one. It was Logan Malin and the guy we're going to see today, Zach Kirby, for the Aztecs, who got off to some strong starts in that one. Back and forth through those first three innings, and then eventually some runs started to pile in for the Mariners. They were able to hang on to that 4-run lead and win that one, but Mariners started the season 0-4. Now they find themselves 5-4 on the back of a 5-game winning streak, trying to keep that going here today before on Sunday, that doubleheader they have against the Braintree White Sox, one of the better teams in this league. Important to get another win here today and try to keep things rolling.
Yeah, no, it's just, very key for Bourne. And as you said, they were 0-4 and they had a 5-game win streak. So an active 5-game win streak, mind you. So they're doing themselves a heck of a job, and especially with, of course, Jay Morris on the mound tonight, they look to make it a 6th straight win. It's always a key thing to watch. And honestly, I think for local fans, they get to see this action, and I think they're just, very exciting games. And especially because Braintree on Sunday, won, 10 of the last 11 Cranberry League championships, as you told me before, Cam?
Yeah, that's the word I've heard go around, the numbers I've heard go around. Something of a dynasty, if you may, here in the Cranberry Baseball League. 10 of the last 11 is definitely not something to frown about. I'll tell you what, though, the one team to win there in that section was the Bourne Mariners back in 2016, so no stranger necessarily to the spotlight. The Mariners start trying to get back into that championship winner's circle. Got a little bit of a different lineup here today, something that we're not necessarily used to. Typically, we got Zach DiMatteo behind home plate. He's not going to be here today for this one. Instead, Logan Casala will be behind home plate. Might as well just give you the defensive lineup here for the Mariners. Jay Morris going to be the one on the mound. Tyler Rondeau moving over to third base from shortstop. Stephen Quigley will be at short. Adam Horowitz over at second base. Noah Holland at first. Drew Boley, Mitch Lundholm, and Dan Cook out in the outfield for the Mariners. It'll be the Aztecs leading things off. We'll give you their defensive lineup when they get out in the field, but we'll give you the batting order for the Aztecs. Like I say, these two teams faced off last Thursday, so this is somewhat of a rematch. Aztecs trying to get some revenge, if you will, and leading things off for them will be Dylan Sullo. Coming up next, Eric LeBrault, followed by Bryant Solkind, Cabot Maher, Jason Bean, Ian O'Brien, Brandon Sullo, Tegan Andre, Jackson Raydell, and on the mound, Zach Kirby. As I say, we're just about ready to get things underway here. At the beginning of the season, Justin, I'll tell you, the Mariners had a little bit of a hard time scoring runs early into some games, but as of late, starting to put some more run support together. Scored 9 and then 7 runs in the doubleheader on Sunday. They won that first game in the bottom of the 8th inning with a walk-off home run from that guy I mentioned, Zach DiMatteo, and the first pitch here from Jay Morris at Pope Park just misses outside for a ball. Like I say, Justin's first glimpse of Cranberry baseball action, so it's got to be exciting for you. Second pitch in there on the outer half of the plate for a strike. 1-1 count here to Sullo. Swinging at that pitch, fouling it off, and it's out of play over near the third base line. Yeah, so last week's game was a pitching duel. Logan Malin for the Mariners was the one on the hill in that one. He did a really good job. Saw his fastball up in the 90s during that game. Might not necessarily expect the same here out of Jay Morris, but so a 1-2 count here to Sullo. Leadoff hitter for the Aztecs. Takes a pitch just a little bit high there for ball 2. 2-2 count here to Sullo. Morris's pitch from the windup. Fastball down the middle, fouled off. Sullo hanging in there. Beautiful night here in Acushnet, Massachusetts. Some rain in Mass today, but just dodging over up in that northern part of Mass. Fans in store for a good one. 2-2 pitch again here to Solo. Right down the heart of the plate and in there for a strike looking. Morris off to a quick start there with a punch out. And that brings up Eric Lebrault for the Aztecs. Mentioned to you, Justin, that last week's game saw a little bit of chippiness. We saw a player get ejected for those Aztecs. Here's the first pitch swinging and chopped towards second base. Fielding it cleanly and getting it over in time was Adam Horowitz. So that'll be 2 down for the Mariners here. And now Bryant Solkind will step in. Big swinging lefty. Can tell you that it's been a lot of fun to broadcast these baseball games this summer. The Mariners now, the team we've been covering mostly, is starting to make a turnaround after that 0-4 start, winning 5 of their last 5 on a 5-game winning streak. Jay Morris's first pitch there, missing low. Another pitch here from the windup, dealing to Solkind. He's swinging at that pitch and fouling it off. Even up the count at 1-1. That sounded like a car out in the parking lot, Justin, and I'm not sure if you know either, but had my windshield shattered a couple of weeks back at one of the games.
Very tragic, Cam.
Yeah. Not what you like to see, but it happens for sure. 1-1 count. Here's one back to the pitcher. And a nice reaction play there from Morris to record the 3rd out of the inning. We head to the bottom half. No damage done there. 3 up and 3 down for Morris. Very efficient there. Now the Mariners will get their first ups. A little bit of a different batting order, like I say, that we're looking at here today. We'll run you through that real quick. As usual, we got Dan Cook leading things off. He's been a steady guy for the Mariners to get on base. Stephen Quigley will be batting second. Mitch Lundholm in there in the 3rd spot. Batting cleanup, Drew Boley. Batting 5th, Braden Killens. Logan Casala after him. Noah Holland, Tyler Rondeau, Adam Horowitz. And the pitcher, again, was Jay Morris. And, yeah, I mentioned that name, Drew Boley, in the cleanup spot. We were out there for that game on Sunday, me and Joey Alberti, and Boley took one to left for a grand slam in the 1st inning. So I'm sure the Mariners wouldn't hate to see something like that again. That game ended up going to 8 innings, goes to an extra inning, and it was Zach DiMatteo who walked it off there in the bottom of the 8th with a homer to left of his own. A lot of fun to watch. Had some home run balls for sure in the Cranberry League.
You gotta love home run balls, especially, you see a lot of these collegiate baseball leagues, even as I had experience with the Keene Swamp Bats in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. You don't see a lot of home runs. And it's something that's kind of oddball because, we're now grown up with, Major League Baseball hitting 7,000 home runs a season.
Right.
But, you get to watch some of these games, and specifically for, local collegiate baseball, a lot of the coaches, they have very different schematics that they try to run with. A lot of bunting, a lot of, situational hitting and so forth. And that's something you just don't see in the MLB. And for local fans, it's a lot more entertaining because even I'll say it myself, just watching, 4 base hits in a row, it's more exciting rather than just seeing one dinger every 2 innings.
That was actually making me think of a question I kind of wanted to ask you. I mean, obviously the MLB has seen a little bit of an uptick with the home run balls, whether that be to velocity or some people think it has to do with the actual baseballs themselves. Has there been a payoff there to be a more exciting game, to see more home runs? Do you think the fans are liking that? Because that's kind of been the theme these past couple of years. And has the viewership gone up? Do you think, you kind of just said it there, that you think yes, but is that the more exciting form of baseball, to see home runs, or do you rather see fielding and base hits like the opposite? I don't know what your take would be on that, and you don't really have time to share it, but you can try if you want.
As someone that watched the Kansas City Royals in 2015, that team was just so defensively minded and base hits all around rather than home runs. And they had, of course, their home run hitters. But, in terms of baseball, it's better to have base hits than bunting. It's much more exciting for everyone.
Yeah. Definitely agree on that. First pitch to Dan Cook gets to the backstop, so he'll take ball 1. Cook's been very steady as the leadoff guy. Led off the first game on Sunday with a single. Mariners coming off a 3-2 win over South Shore on Tuesday. Another ball in there for Cook, so up ahead in the count early on here, 2-0. Kirby going to find the strike zone there for his first strike of the game. So 2-1 now to Cook. And now fouling one off. That's in another field of plays. 2-2. We can take a look here when we get a break at the defensive setup for the Aztecs. Right now, it's a 2-2 count being dealt to Dan Cook. He swings and hits this one into the right field gap, backing up to make the play on it. Is Cabot Maher. He's there in time, and that leads me right into it, so we might as well start with the outfield. Maher out there in right. Center field, Jackson Raydell. Brandon Sullo over in left. In the infield, Jason Bean at third base. Dylan Sullo at shortstop. Eric LeBrault at second base. Bryant Solkind at first. And Ian O'Brien handling things behind home plate. So one down now to the Mariners. Stephen Quigley steps in and takes ball one. Justin from New Jersey making the trip down here to Mass for this game. We appreciate that out of you, Jay.
There was no traffic either. Absolutely beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. That is the one perk of this pandemic.
Have you ever seen no traffic on the Jersey Turnpike?
I think I was 1 year old. I think I actually remember it too. I was in the minivan, just staring out the window.
You were 1 year old and you remember? Oh, man.
I have a pretty solid memory when it comes to the Jersey Turnpike. It's not a good friend of mine.
Yeah, it's hard to forget some of the more tragic moments out there. One strike now to Quigley. Here's one just catching the outside corner for strike two. So 2-2 with one down. Quigley trying to get something started for the Mariners. Kirby from the windup. Breaking ball got him swinging there. Nice looking pitch from Kirby to record the second out of the inning. Brings up Bourne's big lefty, Mitch Lundholm, batting in the third spot. Ball missing up high. Yeah, we mentioned it too that Kirby went last week in this matchup between these two teams. Pretty high velocity. The guy had a radar gun last week, was hitting him up in the 85, 86 range. Able to catch the inside corner for strike one there. 1-1. Kirby from the windup again here, right down the middle, fouled off into the flagpole next to us. Look alive.
It's hilarious, actually, Cam. For those that don't see, there's a fence lining behind home plate. It's got a curvature on it so that the ball will hit off the edge if it goes up, but then again, there's a solid about 30 feet of space in front of us, so anything is possible. We could see ourselves get a nice little knuckle sandwich from a nice baseball.
Nice souvenir to take home. 1-2 count to Lundholm. Fastball upstairs, able to foul it away. Back in that same spot. 1-2 count. 2 outs. Lundholm up against Zach Kirby here for the Aztecs. Bottom half of the first inning. This pitch in the dirt, but swing and a miss, and Lundholm will head down towards first base, not in time. Nice play there from Ian O'Brien behind home plate to retire the side, so 6 up and 6 down through that first inning. Mariners get ready to head back out into the field, and rather than send you to a break, we'll try to entertain you here. And you mentioned it at the top of the broadcast there, Justin, the MLB picking back up today. What are your takes on that? Of course, you saw the news about Juan Soto testing positive about 4 hours before opening pitch. That's gotta hurt.
Crazy, crazy stuff. And for Nationals fans, I'm sure they're very unhappy to see that. Luckily, they didn't pay any money for tickets, so they get to watch it on TV regardless. But I'm just surprised the Nationals didn't postpone the whole game, especially because that's the big player on their team. And mind you, Soto was practicing with them for the past 2 or 3 days. So definitely scary, scary stuff. The COVID-19 is still out and about in the national landscape. But I can tell you this, for Yankees fans out there, definitely a nice little advantage going into tonight's game because they don't have Rendon anymore. They only got Trey Turner, and they were expecting Soto to be the third or fourth batter in the lineup. And now, well, that lineup is much more confusing, but of course Max Scherzer still in his prime years and probably will give the Yankees a run for their money. But again, a great pitching matchup as Cole will be on the mound for the Yankees. Yeah,
and the 60-game format that they decided to go with, do you have any opinion on that? And I mean, the word around town that I've been hearing, kind of have to agree, it seems like it's anyone's season to take right now. I mean, if you can get hot right now and just go on a quick win streak, he can be the top seed in the MLB right now.
Well, ironically enough, my grandfather actually talked to me about this. We both agreed it was an 85-1 odd that the Orioles would make it to the World Series. But you know what? The Orioles have all the prospects, so they're hungry as all heck. And especially for like a team like the Orioles, they see the 60-game season as a lost cause because they've already had a very bad lineup for the past couple of years, and now they're just looking to rebuild with prospects. But if anything, it just gives them a prime opportunity to say to the prospects, hey, you got 60 games. Pull it together, and we'll see who we're taking next year.
Yeah. But, yeah, really anybody's season to win right now. So we pick up here at the top of the second inning. Swing and a miss for a strike for Cabot Maher, leading things off for the Aztecs after 3 quick outs last inning from Jay Morris. Second pitch misses low for a ball, so 1-1. As the sun casts down on Pope Park here in Acushnet. Might have to turn the lights on towards the latter half of this ball game. But a beautiful Thursday evening. The 1-1 pitch is in there. Breaking ball from Morris.
Morris only 13 pitches through an inning of this start. So already off to a solid run, especially if the game's only 7 innings. So could see him go 5 or 6.
Yeah, here's his 1-2 pitch. Hit hard towards third base and just getting through Rondeau over there is a hard hit ball.
That's the first hit of the game.
It is the first hit of the game. Nice piece of hitting from Cabot Maher. So runners on early here for the Aztecs. It brings up Jason Bean. He's got Maher down at first base. Morris takes a look over there and now sets to deliver. Pitch misses high for ball 1. 1-0 count. Morris having to deal from the stretch here. Missing outside again there for ball 2. With nobody out. It'd be interesting to see if they try to test the arm of Logan Casala behind home plate. 2-0 pitch. Fouled out of play. July 23rd. 5-4 Bourne Mariners up against the Acushnet Aztecs. The Aztecs right now at 4-5.
Ironically enough, Acushnet only 3 slots down from Bourne. So if they win tonight, they've just put themselves in the top 3 possibly.
Ball 4 there to Jason Bean, so that'll put runners on first and second. And I mentioned to you that the next matchup for the Mariners will be this Sunday, that doubleheader against Braintree. If you look at the standings here, Braintree 9-0 to this point in the season. They've only allowed 14 runs. Talked about it at the top as well. The dynasty really that Braintree has been in this Cranberry Baseball League. 9 or 10 of the last 11 championships. You'll be at that game Sunday, Justin. That'll be a lot of fun to watch, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely exciting. And better yet, the games are at 10 and 12, so prime baking hours, especially for the sun. So I'll be sweating a ton out that one.
Yeah. Maybe wear a t-shirt to that game. First and second base, nobody out. Here's one hit towards third. Rondeau heading to his belly now, popping up and throwing to first. He's there in time, but not before runners advance to second and third. Still able to record an out. And that ground out was Ian O'Brien, which brings Brendan Solo to home plate. He's got runners in scoring position here in the top of the second inning. Chance to make something happen and give his team some runs. Morris quickly in a bind here. From the stretch, first pitch misses high for ball 1. Rondeau at third base playing with his toes on the grass. Maybe a play to home plate. 1-0 pitch from Morris just misses high.
You have to love the consistency of the strike zone tonight from the home plate umpire, specifically because, ironically, Brandon Solo, that is about 2 or 3 inches taller than Ian O'Brien, and the strike zone has stayed exactly the same.
Yeah, I mentioned that in last week's game. There was an ejection against the Aztecs. Some disagreement with some calls from the home plate umpire. Different umpires here for this one, I can tell you that. A couple of 3-2 counts where the player started to head down towards first base before hearing the call from the umpire, and he got rung up. Led to some disgruntlement. Morris's pitch fouled off for a second time here, so now 2 strikes against Solo.
You would think that players, especially in the situation that we are currently in, they'd probably just want to play the game and let it go, but baseball never ceases to amaze us, Cam.
No. And I was kind of having the conversation with Colin Casey that you might see the most arguments with umpires or referees in baseball. Here's one roped out in foul play down the third base line. So still 2 strikes against Solo with 1 down. Runners on second and third base here in the top of the second inning. Chance to draw first blood as he steps in to face Jay Morris again here. Morris could definitely use a strikeout. Here's the pitch. This one broken bat. Blooper towards short. Gets down, but the play is made over at first, and it holds the runner at third. Really good play there from Stephen Quigley. Was trying to decide whether or not he should play it in the air. Decided to take it on a little hop and get it over to first base, but kind of held the runners up where they were and worked out pretty well. So with Solo down, it brings up Tegan Andre. Tegan, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. First pitch misses to Tegan. 2 outs now. Chance for the Mariners to get out of the inning with no harm done. 1-0 pitch. Misses upstairs for ball 2. Manager Nate Charrette's going to call time here for the Mariners. Possible early pitching change. Not probable. But yeah, I mean, live sports has been back here on WMUA Sports in some capacity with this Cranberry Baseball League. But of course, Major League Baseball getting back in action here tonight. NBA starting up in just a couple days. Starting to feel like things are
getting close.
Yeah, getting close. Don't want to get too far out on a limb, but
gotta say for NHL fans, it's definitely gonna be odd knowing that all the NHL's games, the National Hockey League, which is based out of the United States, is playing all of its games in Canada.
Yeah. We received some more information about going back to school up at UMass, and it's not looking too good. A lot of guidelines to be put in place. Still second and third base. 2-0 pitch hit towards left. Looks like it's just going to be a routine fly out, and it will. Able to make the play is Drew Boley out there in left, and Morris escapes the inning with no damage done. 2 runners stranded there for the Aztecs, and we're through 1.5 innings here at Pope Park in Acushnet, Massachusetts. Mariners due up next, and the batters will start with the cleanoff hitter, Drew Boley. Braden Killens and Logan Casala due up for the Mariners here. It's still Zach Kirby on the mound for the Aztecs. We're not going to take a break. We're just going to keep you entertained here, and we appreciate you tuning in to our presentation here on WMUA Sports. Any initial impressions, Justin, from your first game here?
Well, you talked about it being a pitching battle last time, and now all of a sudden, again, it looks like a pitching battle, even with men on second and third. Of course, the pitcher, Jay Morris doing a very good job, at least holding off that. He had no outs, too, mind you. It literally, all they needed was a nice, solid pop fly into the outfield. And the only one they got was from Tegan Andre, and that ended up being with 2 outs. So, yeah, pretty solid job by Morris, especially with that stressful situation, and I'm sure he'll have plenty more of them come in future part of this game.
Yeah. Like you say, Morris doing a good job there to escape that inning. Kirby's been solid for the Aztecs. Last week's game didn't allow any runs, and so far this game he's got 3 up and 3 out. Now he'll deal with Drew Boley, who I mentioned The top hit that grand slam on Sunday, the first inning of that game. Thing was a no-doubter, too, I can tell you that much. 1 of 2 home runs hit in that game. DiMatteo hit the walk-off home run in the bottom of the 8th. Bases will not be loaded here for Boley this time. He starts off the bottom of the 2nd inning with nobody on. And takes the first pitch looking for strike 1. Kirby hit a nice little breaking ball there. See if he goes back to the Ched. No, another breaking ball fouled off into the on-deck batter. Keep you on your toes over there. Braden Killens, the designated hitter, due up next. Quick 0-2 count here to Boley. We'll see what Kirby has in store here. Fastball got him swinging up high. And 3 quick pitches to record an out there for Zach Kirby. Good start to this 2nd inning. Brings Braden Killens to the plate. Designated hitter for the Mariners tonight. Still a 0-0 game through 1.5 innings. Here's Kirby's pitch to Killens. Misses off the outer part of the plate. One-0 pitch. Breaking ball with a lot of movement in there for strike 1 of this count. I'm sorry, 1-1. But yeah, Kirby's curveball there looks pretty good so far. He's been using that with great effect. Goes back to the fastball there and just misses supposedly for ball 2. Didn't look like he missed by much.
Just right into the kneecaps.
So 2-1 with 1 out. That one finds the strike zone at the top part. So now 2-2 against Killens. Kirby's 2-2 pitch, a fastball up and away. Catches Killens swinging. Kirby looks locked in right now. Mixing up the fastball with the curveball, keeping guys guessing. Able to retire Killens there with the high Ched. And now here's the first pitch missing outside to Logan Casala. Nobody on and 2 outs. One 0 pitch in for strike 1.
Really slung back and fired that one fastball right off the outside corner. Gasol had nothing to do with that.
Maybe a slider there. Comes across the plate for strike 2. Now another 1-2 count here for Kirby with 2 down. See if he can get out of this inning. Trying to retire 3 straight. Misses low with a ball there.
Mind you, if he strikes him out, he's now got 5 strikeouts over 6 total outs. It's kind of crazy if you think about it to start off a game.
He's definitely finding a groove here. 2-2 pitch to Casala. Slider in there for strike 3 on the outside corner. Casala just got rung up and he doesn't necessarily like it. So like you say, Justin, 5 strikeouts there for Kirby through the first 6 batters. He's got the Mariners in a tiff over there at their dugout, but what are you going to do with 2 strikes? You might have to swing at that pitch.
It's interesting because that ball hit the ground at the end, but honestly, it looked like it broke right over the plane of the plate. So for umpires, it gets a little bit more tricky, and honestly, it's why you see a lot of more angry players on those kind of pitches, because it's always where it ends that people get aggravated. But honestly, based on how it went, it looked like it might have curved right off the outside corner of the plate. Of course, for me, as somebody that was a part-time collegiate umpire at times, I always side with the umpire.
I agree. I think the pitcher's in there for a strike, and when you see a pitcher like that getting into a groove and he's hitting all these spots for called strikes, if you're a batter, you got to swing the bat. I mean, you got to play some defense on the plate, especially with 2 strikes against you and 2 outs. Got to take one to opposite field if necessary. Jay Morris gets ready to go for the 3rd inning here, and we're quickly through 2 innings. Like you said, another bit of pitching duel here. Rematch of last week's game on that Thursday. He gets ready for the top of the third inning. NBA getting set to come back. We talked about the bubble, the Major League Baseball bubble. Not really much of a bubble, but the NBA bubble. Any take on that?
They've actually done a pretty solid job. I have to say,
Yeah.
I was very pessimistic about it, but they actually had 0 cases as reported. What was it, this past Tuesday? There were no official cases reported in any of the players, so that's pretty solid when you ask any health official in the U.S. So NBA doing their job, even ironically because NBA, if you think about it, is probably the most contact-oriented sport. Everyone's just sweating on each other.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, of course, golf was the first sport to come back, and you even saw some positive, some tests come back positive out there on tour. And like you mentioned, not a very high contact sport, golf, but just goes to show the danger, I guess, of this disease, how easily spread.
I mean, heck, even Novak Djokovic got it. That's a professional tennis player. Tennis is like one of the few sports where you're actually social distancing on the court.
Yeah, at all times. Staying away from everybody. We get ready for the top of the third inning. And we'll have Jackson Raydell leading things off, batting in the 9 spot. Jay Morris's first pitch swung and hit up towards the middle. Making the play at short is Stephen Quigley. His throw in time to record the first out. Mentioned that there was a little bit of a different lineup for the Mariners here tonight. Quigley over at short, and the typical guy at short, Tyler Rondeau, moves over to third. And we bring things around back to the top of the order for the Aztecs. Dylan Sullo here will step in. First pitch to Sullo, missing low in the dirt. One 0. Here's one chopped into the dirt. Umpire will call it foul. I think it came off the side of Sullo's chest there. It looks like he's rubbing his chest. Didn't really get a good angle of that. 1-1 count now. On a real gorgeous night in Acushnet, Massachusetts, here at Pope Park, Cranberry Baseball League action presented by WMUA Sports. Cam Sibert and Justin Macagnan bringing you the action. Morris's 1-1 pitch catches the top part of the zone for strike 2. So now 1-2. Dylan Sullo will have to be swinging at anything close. We'll see what Morris has in the bag here. Breaking ball popped up towards left field. Getting under it to make the play is Drew Boley. Be the second out he's recorded tonight in left. And easy enough. So I believe that's 2 down here in the top of the third. Only 1 hit so far in this game from the Aztecs. That was... Who was that, Justin, that had that hit?
That was Cabot Maher, who had it in the second inning, got himself over to third, and eventually, of course, not scoring.
Right. Morris able to get out of that jam last inning. Here he is with his first pitch with 2 outs in for a strike. Going up against Eric LeBrault. 0-1 pitch for Morris. In the dirt for ball 1. Definitely some clouds, but honestly just providing a nice little bit of cover from whatever sun is left here this Thursday evening. Morris able to catch LeBrault swinging and missing there for strike 2. Now 1-2 with 2 down. See if Morris can make it another quick inning. Breaking ball gets away from him there for ball 2 though. So far, pretty quick game. Neither team providing much run support, and LeBrault able to foul one off to stay in this count. Two and 2 with 2 down. There goes my paper. 2-2 pitch from Morris. Outside for ball 3, and that'll fill up the count. Full count, payoff pitch. Just a little bit low for ball 4. And this inning is not done yet. That'll send Eric Lebrault down to first base and bring up the number 3 hitter, Bryant Solkind. Solkind, a lumbering left-hander, if you will. Here's a throw over to first. Lebrault able to slide back in time. Another throw over. Still not in time. Nice tag being laid down by Noah Holland. So Morris will look back in towards home plate. Take one last peek over at first. And he's ready to go here from the stretch. Breaking ball popped up in the infield. Quigley calling out for it at short and making the play to retire the side. So still scoreless here through 2.5 innings. We head to the bottom of the 3rd for the Mariners at bat. It's been a
wild
duel,
game.
Yeah, defensive game.
I know for a lot of baseball fans, they say a pitcher's duel is like kissing your sister. It's horrible stuff. But I personally think that a pitcher duel is fantastic. It gives you a lot more excitement, and then when somebody hits that game winner, it feels like a soccer match eventually. You know, you get that very energetic spunk to it.
Yeah. That build-up, if you will. What else do you want to talk about, Jay?
There are a lot of things we could talk about. How about we talk about me almost burning my house down while I was making chicken the other night?
Oh, gosh.
I put oil in the pan instead of, butter, because, you got to make sure that it cooks correctly, and the grease started spotting up out of nowhere. No fires, luckily, and nothing caught fire. But let me tell you, it was a force and a half because that grease was flying all over the place.
Yeah, and they say you can't put a grease fire out with water, right? It
Nope.
only adds to the fuel.
That makes it worse.
So how did you put it out?
I didn't have a grease fire.
Never combusted?
Never combusted. God bless, never combusted. But
love to hear that.
and the chicken was actually pretty cooked well. So
Yeah?
no raw chicken, no salmonella on my part.
Nice.
Not that we know of as of now.
Nice.
They say symptoms happen about 4 to 7 days from the actual intake, so who knows?
Cooking class with Justin Macagnan here at Pope Park. We're getting ready now for the bottom of the 3rd. First batter, I believe it's Noah Holland. He takes the first pitch swinging and missing. Holland, I can tell it was him. He's got that low stance when he stands in there. He bends way down when the pitch is on its way, and Kirby catches the outside corner for a strike. So quickly 0-2 against Holland. See if he tries to gas him up here, and he does. 3 quick pitches there, and a nice out from Zach Kirby to start things off here in the bottom of the 3rd. I think it's safe to say he's in a groove.
Oh, he's in a groove, and
6
honestly,
strikeouts.
you would think that his curveball looks great, but really it's that high fastball. He's now struck out, if I'm not mistaken, 4 out of the 6 batters on high fastballs, right around the neck area.
Brings Rondeau to the plate. First pitch in for a strike. That had some movement. Breaking ball off the outer part. And yeah, 6 strikeouts already for Zach Kirby. Now up against the 8 hitter in Rondeau. Second pitch catches that corner again.
Fans in the area not happy.
Kirby is just hammering that outside part of the plate. Now an 0-2 count. We'll see what he's got for us here. Fastball away again, but that one misses for a ball. So Rondeau will now be stepping into the 1-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Kirby fans another one with that fastball. I wouldn't want to be going up against it.
Scary stuff, really.
That thing is moving. So make that 7 strikeouts for Zach Kirby. And this Bourne Mariners lineup needs to just inch back in the box maybe a little bit, choke up a little bit on the bat, and try to get around on one. Brings the 9-hitter Adam Horowitz. First pitch for a strike, another one high there, and Kirby's really starting to figure things out. I think he's got it figured out, I should say. 0-1 pitch. Outside part of the plate again. 0-2, and these Mariners players are not necessarily happy about some of these outside calls, but they have been consistent. 0-2 for Kirby to get another quick inning done. Outside for a ball.
You gotta love what the catcher Ian O'Brien's doing. O'Brien is actually he keeps inching a little bit more off the plate just to see where the home plate umpire puts the final line of how far out is a strike. And he's really it's been pinpoint control from Kirby, which is honestly why he's got so many strikeouts now early in the game.
And strike 3 there to Horowitz, who's going to try to run down to first base. It was a pitch in the dirt, no throw over to first, and no signal from the umpire just yet. We had a similar situation earlier in the season, and the umpires will convene here to talk things over. Last time it was Rondeau who swung and missed in a called third strike against South Shore. He headed down to first base and was called safe. This time Horowitz does it, and we're still going to wait and see here what the call is. A lot of the Aztec players have come off the field already. Horowitz still standing at first.
They will let him stay there.
Yeah, and they will. So a couple players from the Aztec dugout going to have to come back out on the field. This inning's not over just yet. Smart play there from Horowitz. He kind of made it seem like he wasn't going to run down towards first. Still held on to the bat for a couple seconds, and as soon as he saw that O'Brien behind home plate had given up on the play, he just took first base. Simple and smart. Still 2 outs, but Horowitz on first now, and we'll head to back to the top of the lineup with Dan Cook. Smart baseball. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, solid. It's never quit. That's the key core concept, especially if you don't hear the umpire say anything. Don't quit on the play.
Exactly.
So that's the difference maker as always.
It's like a whistle in football. Until you hear that whistle, you run everything out.
And for Kirby, it's annoying, I'm sure, because that just blew his perfect game. But for Kirby still, I mean, again, that's still 8 strikeouts.
Yeah. Right, that would have just been another strikeout. Instead, he's got to reset and go up against Cook. First pitch misses for ball 1. With Horowitz over on first base, maybe you try to get him over to second. Just takes a little bit of a lead. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Even things up. 1 apiece. Not wasting much time. Here's Kirby as he looks over towards first to check on the runner. Looks like he's set. And the runner goes. Here's the throw from O'Brien from a knee. Looked close, just not quite in time. Horowitz with a nice slide and trying to play it on a little bit of a hop on the throw from home plate was Eric Lebrault. So now with a runner on second base and 2 outs, it'll be Cook still in batting. 2-1 count. Chance to strike first against this solid pitching from Kirby. Is it 8 strikeouts so far, Jay?
Yep, 8 strikeouts indeed.
8 strikeouts so far for Kirby. Now he's got himself in a little bit of trouble with a runner on second base. O'Brien behind home plate will take a little mound visit with his pitcher. This inning has gotten a little bit more interesting. It would have been strike 3 to Horowitz, who headed down towards first base on a missed third strike. So still 2-1 here to Cook with Horowitz on second base. Nothing game in the bottom of the third. Kirby gets set to deliver. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball up high, catches the top part of the zone for strike 2. 2-2-2. The bottom of the third here. Horowitz out there at second base. anything in the outfield, you might think about scoring him. Umpire calls time. Maybe it was Kirby on the mound. I couldn't exactly see.
I know that would be a batter timeout. He
Batter
wouldn't
time.
have called timeout unless the pitcher actually stepped off, which he didn't.
Correct. Thank you, Justin.
No problem. Sorry if it sounded like I was being a nuisance.
No, I appreciate it. That ball just misses low to fill out the count, and the runner at second base will be moving on contact. Actually, just moving on the pitch. I'm sorry. Full count to Cook. Pitch from Kirby. In the dirt. Check swing. It's in fair. What is going on? It's in fair play. Was there contact made with the bat there?
No, that was a swinging strike, hit off the catcher, and then,
Okay.
of course, picked up by the pitcher, Zach Kirby, and thrown to first. So that
Did he swing, though? I didn't. It looked like a check swing. There's a lot going on. I don't know what I'd do without you, Jay. But it will go down as a strikeout. 9th strikeout for Zach Kirby there as he gets Cook and able to retire at the side with no damage done. Runner stranded on second base, and we go to the top of the 4th inning now. And I think we're going to switch things up with the roles here. Justin, you want to jump on to do play-by-play?
Well, did you want to do one more half inning there, my friend?
What is this? This is the middle of going.
This is the top of the 4th.
This is the top of the 4th, so yeah, you can go ahead.
Well,
pass it over.
3. All right.
3, 2, 1, it's switched.
Works for me. All right, so you will switch. You want to switch spots, actually? Because, quite frankly.
Yeah, we can do that, but I'll let you hang on to the book there. You're doing a good job.
All right.
All right.
Oh! The knees are not friendly to me, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, gosh.
To a wise word of the elder, as a 21-year-old man, which is not very old, folks.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any complaints right now, Jay, about your health.
Oh, what, you think I don't have any deteriorating diseases, my friend.
Exactly, so nothing to complain about. Still a nothing game.
Crazy stuff.
Similar, it's really just the same game that we saw last week. Both pitchers keeping things to a shutout, and then we saw run support once the pitching changes started to happen. And as now we're in the top of the 4th inning, we'll probably see something here soon. We'll see if it opens things up a little bit, because both of these starting pitchers are doing a real good job.
You have to think so, especially because, specifically for Acushnet, you got Kirby on the mound, and Kirby's just wheeling and dealing. The guy's got total of 45 pitches right now, but as said, he has 9 strikeouts. And, of course, having the fluke of an inning, 4 strikeouts on 3 outs. Kirby from the, Morris from the full windup, 5 strikeouts.
Is that how that gets marked down? 4 strikeouts for 3 outs?
Yep, he's got 4 strikeouts.
Even though it was a strikeout, swing and a miss in the dirt, you can head down to first and they count it as a strikeout anyway?
That is a strikeout.
Wow.
From the full windup, Morris, and a ball outside. Right at the ankles of Cabot Maher.
You learn something new every day, I guess.
Maher 1 for 1. He got the lone hit on the day. He's hit a single into left field down the left field line. Morris again. And another called strike outside. Home plate umpire favoring toward the outside part of the plate.
If I'm a pitcher in this game right now, I'm just throwing to that outside part of the plate. Appreciate it, Jay.
Morris from the full windup, looking in at Maher. Casala lining in the inside. And lined foul just over the first base coach of the Acushnet Aztecs.
What's the count now? 2 strikes and a ball?
If I am not mistaken, it should be.
Yep.
Again from the full windup. Line deep and far to center near the warning track. Trailing back is the center fielder. That was Mitch Lundholm, and he'll make the catch right at the warning track. Nice hit by Cabot Maher. Almost had himself a second hit of the day, and almost a dinger at that.
Yeah, almost a home run, and Mitch Lundholm, one of the taller guys on the Mariners lineup. You have to think, too, that if that one was close and it was just over the wall, he might have had a chance to rob it, but just to the warning track and able to make the play with no harm.
In the box steps Jason Bean. Bean, currently 0 for 0 on the day, had himself a walk, was at second but got stranded back in the second inning. And he'll take ball 1. Morris again, and a ball outside. Good crowd here tonight, a solid, I'd say 30 to 50 people in the stands, which for many health officials that would scare them, but
social distancing in effect.
Of course. Morris from the full windup. And strike 2 called. Strike 1 called. So right around the knees of Bean. 2-1 the count with 1 out in the top of the 4th. Morris again, and a swing and a miss on the rising fastball to Bean. 2-2 the count. Infield still remains the same. Noah Holland at first, Adam Horowitz at second, Stephen Quigley at shortstop, Tyler Rondo at third. Morris again, grounded into the glove of Morris, and Morris will toss it over to first, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good-looking play at the pitcher's mound there. Reaction grab, just reaching down for it.
In the box.
Maybe in the next half inning, Justin, we could talk about the perspectives that you've had. Well, actually, maybe we won't talk about that. I don't know if you should be quarantining for 14 days as you travel, but I don't know.
Ian O'Brien steps into the box, the catcher for the Acushnet Aztecs. Doing himself a great job today. He had a 5-3 fielder's choice that got second and third set up with 1 out for the Aztecs. Unfortunately, they were not able to capitalize. And in terms of framing pitches, he has been lights out, as, of course, Zach Kirby having himself 9 strikeouts on the day. Morris fires to O'Brien and a swing and a miss. A 1-1 count.
Yeah, you mentioned
on the right-hander.
I mean, Kirby's got 9 strikeouts, but a lot of that does have to do with Ian O'Brien behind home plate, frame jobs, and everything like that.
Morris again, and a strike called. 1-2 the count.
It's really an art form to frame pitches behind home plate.
Something that a lot of catchers really struggle to do, ironically enough. Morris from the full windup delivers, and a ball a little outside. Be a 2-2 count to O'Brien. Morris not happy with the call, so now it looks like the home plate umpire has now made himself an enemy of both sides of the field. O'Brien stepping back into the box. From the full windup is Morris. Trailing is the infield. And fouled off again as it hits the back netting. Remains a 2-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Still a 0-0 score in Acushnet, Massachusetts. Bourne looking to go to 6-4, and for the Acushnet Aztecs, they're 4-5. So if they win today, they might put themselves in the top 3 of the standings of the Cranberry Baseball League.
Jump into a tie with the Mariners and tie the season series so far.
Morris again, and fouled off once more from O'Brien. Good at bat from O'Brien, still doing his job as he's wasting pitches for Morris. If anything, it might be key for the Aztecs to get into the bullpen, because looks like Zach Kirby, as of now, barring that he doesn't have one lopsided inning, might find himself going all 7 innings of this game.
Yeah, which we have not seen. We've had a graduated pitch count that's gone up as the season's gone on.
And fouled off once more from O'Brien. Inside curveball. Fouled it right into the glove of Kasawa. At least it bounced once into the glove of Kasawa. That would have been strike 3 if it was in the air. O'Brien calls time for a second, and Morris will go back from the full windup. Delivers again, and fouled off just over the press box here at Joe Jason Senior Field. Gotta love that name. Joe Jason. That poor guy had 2 first names as his name.
Ricky Bobby.
Great movie. For those if you're bored in quarantine, watch that movie. Morris from the full windup, outfield, deep near the warning track. Morris delivers, and a ball in the dirt. Be a 3-2 count if O'Brien does walk. That is a key at bat for O'Brien. He is going on to the 8th pitch of the at bat. Morris from the full windup delivers. Popped up into right field. Trailing after it is Dan Cook. Cook calls off the second baseman, Adam Horowitz, and that will end the inning. Still a 0-0 score after the top of the 4th. Bourne looking to take control against the talented Zach Kirby. Now, Cam, we've seen so much so far. Good pitching duel as always, and ironically, it reminisces back to a game that was just a week ago when Bourne went into a nail-biter up until the very end.
Yeah. I mean, last time for the Mariners, it was Logan Malin. I mentioned it. There was some scouts at the game using some radar guns. He was throwing up into the 90s. Kirby here, who's on the mound for the Aztecs, was throwing about 86. So both some high-velocity pitchers. Now it's Morris this time for the Mariners, but he's doing a good job. He's got a little help from his defense, but he's been able to get out of a couple jams. Still nothing. And like I say, it might take until a pitching change for either of these teams to score some runs. For the Aztecs, you're definitely happy about the way your guy on the mound's doing so far. 9 strikeouts is definitely not a bad outing through the 4th inning.
Most certainly not. And for Kirby, if anything's key, it would be getting into that double digits. He's got 9 strikeouts, at very rare 4 strikeouts in 1 inning, as that happened last inning. And off of what was somewhat of a controversial call, strike 3 called on Adam Horowitz, but they said he did go around even though the ball was on the ground, so they said it was a live ball. And Acushnet, unfortunately, didn't pay attention, didn't harm them at any point, because Kirby would go right back to striking out Dan Cook in the following batter, but still remains a 0-0 score.
Yeah, and it's a couple times now, like I said, that we've seen missed third strike in the dirt, and the player's taking first base on a sleeping defensive infield.
In the box is the left-hander Stephen Quigley. Quigley a solid 5'10" to possibly 6'1". Takes ball 1 high.
Just off the eye, judging off the eye test.
Fortunately, they don't tell us their heights, and the guy that's behind him, Mitch Lundholm, looks like he's a solid 6'4". Kirby, from the full windup, towing the right side of the mound, looks in at O'Brien, delivers, and a ball high. And ironically enough, that is the first time in 6 batters, that Kirby has not thrown a strike on the first pitch. Kirby, from the full windup again, fires, strike 1 right off the outside corner.
Talk about sabermetrics from Justin. That's a sabermetric stat right there.
It's one of the oddball ones, but people kind of get intrigued by it. Kirby delivers again. Oh man, that slider is filthy.
Yeah, that
right off the ankle.
Falling off the table.
Right off the ankle of Quigley. Quigley caught off guard. It is now a 2-2 count, so clearly Kirby wanted to make a statement, and now he's back in control of the at-bat. Infield still remains the same. Bryant Solkind at first base, Eric LeBrault at second, Dylan Solo at shortstop, and Jason Bean at third. Kirby delivers, and a ball outside. Way above the head of Stephen Quigley. It'll be a full count. And if anything you can be happy about is that Quigley has now officially gotten the longest at-bat pitch-wise against Kirby, and he strikes out swinging. So 6 pitches for Kirby, but it ends in another strikeout. He is now in double digits, and we haven't even gotten to the 5th yet. Crazy, crazy stuff. Outfield still the same for the Aztecs. It's Brandon Solo in left field, Jackson Radell in center, and Cabot Maher in right. And, of course, behind the dish, Ian O'Brien. Kirby throws the off-speed tabletop curve, but just a little too low for the home plate umpire. It'll be a 1-0 count. Kirby coming into this inning with 45 pitches. He's now got himself 52. Which, again, even in the bottom of the 4th for a game that's only 7 innings, as it's been shortened specifically for the Cranberry League, it's still pretty solid, as he fires strike 1 right off the inside corner. You got to think the Aztecs are going to try to get some sort of creativity on the plate, because the way Kirby's dealing, this will remain a 0-0 game for the rest of the setup, and that'll be strike 2 called, delayed strike call from the home plate umpire, a 1-2 count, and possibly another strikeout opportunity for Zach Kirby. Kirby, who goes to Framingham State at 6'2", 190 pounds, will be a senior this year. Kirby, the full windup, delivers again, and a ball outside. Good tailing fastball from Kirby. Almost got Lundholm. That's Mitch Lundholm, the center fielder for the Bourne Mariners.
And interestingly enough, Kirby, hometown of Rochester, Mass. That's about 5 minutes from here.
Kirby delivers again, and the slider caught off guard on the home plate umpire. It actually caught O'Brien off guard because he kind of slanted out and misplayed it for a second, and hence it'll be a 2-2 count. Kirby, the full windup, Lundholm in the box, and fouled off by Lundholm. Lundholm sporting the number 41. Must be a Tom Seaver fan. I don't even know if anybody in our...
He is. I wouldn't be surprised if he is.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I have to say, for anyone on our age bracket, if they know who Tom Seaver is, they're considered like one of the weirdos of baseball, because nobody knows anybody past the 70s. Kirby, the full windup, infield trailing in a little. And a swing and a miss from Lundholm. That's another strikeout for Zach Kirby. The man is hot to trot. He's got the fiery arm, and for Acushnet, excuse me, be looking to ride that run for the rest of this game.
He's dealing in his own backyard. Like I say, out of Rochester, Massachusetts, not very far here from Pope Park. Saw him here last week throwing a good game, but nothing like we're seeing right now.
In the box is Drew Boley. Boley, the right-hander, takes ball 1. Boley, one of the few batters on the Bourne Mariners to hold the ankle brace on the left ankle. Must be worried that he might get hit in the ankle by a fastball or some sort. Kirby from the full windup, the 1-0. And a ball inside. Good slider, caught Boley off guard, but it'll be a 2-0 count.
Pitch is inside. You see Boley kind of scoot out of the batter's box a little bit, just how much movement is on that pitch.
Kirby, the full windup, delivers, and a ball high. It'll be a 3-0 count. And some of the oddball sabermetric stuff, that is the first 3-0 count that Kirby has had all night. Let alone, actually, if I'm not mistaken, that has also been the first count that he is actually down in. And strike one called, of course. Taking was Drew Boley.
It'll be interesting to see if he can battle back from a count now. Like you say, the first time he's gone down 3-0.
Kirby, again. And strike two called right off the outside corner, much to the anger of the Bourne Mariners fans. It'll be a 3-2 count, and Kirby looking to do it again.
To the delight of Acushnet fans. I'm not sure, though.
Kirby delivers again, grounded to short. It's Dylan Solo, and Solo mishandles it. He looked like he tripped up on the play, and the ball went right under his gloves.
Yeah,
so it'll be based on our personal scoring, it looked like an error.
Oh, it was an error. I think you might have looked down for a split second there. Yeah, it just came off the lip of the grass there in the infield and scooped right under the glove of... Who is that out there short?
That is Dylan Solo. And the head coach of the Acushnet Aztecs is going to come out to talk with Kirby, which is definitely interesting because Kirby, as said, is still on a pretty hot streak. As said, he came in with 45 pitches this inning. He's currently got himself 17 on the inning, so that'll put him at 62 pitches. Just making sure my math is correct.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you're keeping up on that. I think that's going to do it for him.
So out comes Kirby. Had himself a nice day. 3 2/3 innings. Great job by Kirby. And mind you, in those 3 2/3 innings, this man had not 3, not 6, not 9, but 11 strikeouts. Crazy, crazy stuff. So onto the mound will be number 3. We'll have to just check out who he is.
Yeah, we're going to do some research here and try to figure it out.
They don't give us full lineups here.
This is your first game, Justin, so you don't quite understand that this can be somewhat of a guessing game. Left-hander out there, right? So
correct.
Typically wait to hear a manager kind of call it out, and that's how we kind of find out. So we'll let you know. 62
pitches total for Zach Kirby, and boy, did he use them nicely.
Right, and I mentioned it earlier. Yeah, Kirby throws a real solid game there. Obviously doesn't let up any runs. Now you get a pitching change for the Mariners. You got to be licking your chops just to see something different, a little less velocity, of course, and a chance to maybe start scoring some runs. Got a guy down on first base with 2 outs. And it doesn't look like we've got the name of the pitcher right away, so we'll keep on it.
Into the box is Braden Killens, the DH for tonight's game, specifically for Bourne. The right-hander steps into the box. The southpaw on the mound. It looks like it might be Mason Ashburn. I could be wrong, though.
That sounds like a wild guess.
Left-hander looks over at first, and we'll fire strike 1 to Killens. Leading off of first is Drew Boley. That was the first runner on for Kirby all night, as Boley got into an E6 off of the shortstop. That was Dylan Solo. Committed the error. It'll be a pickoff attempt at first. Tag applied, but to no avail. It'll remain an 0-1 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Killen's looking to get some sort of offensive power set up for Bourne. On deck, of course, Logan Casala. Casala expecting to head on back out to the home plate because he's got his catching shin guards on. And check swing from Killens. Killens not happy with that. It'll be an 0-2 count on Killens and another strikeout victim in the making for the Aztecs.
You might be right about Mason Ashburn. He's a left-handed pitcher here from the research I can gather. So
what luck I have. Ashburn on the stretch and nearly hit Killens, and Killens didn't move a muscle. 1-2 count for the right-hander. Still leading off of first is Boley. Covered by the first baseman, that is Bryant Solkind. stealing is Boley. The ball will bounce over the second baseman. That was Eric Lebrault. That'll be a stolen base.
Yeah, and a conversation at home plate from O'Brien here, and the umpire. He might have been interfered with by the batter. Thinks Killens didn't get out of his way. Didn't actually pay attention to that. I was watching the play down at second base, but that's typically something that a catcher could be upset about.
Out comes O'Brien to talk with Ashburn. It'll be a 2-2 count on Killens. Killens steps back into the box. Off of second is Boley, covered by the shortstop. Of course, Dylan Solo. And time is called again, this time by Killens in the batter's box. Casala on deck for Bourne, followed by Noah Holland and Tyler Rondo. Killens 0 for 1 on the day, a strikeout swinging, another victim of Zach Kirby. Ashburn gets set, looks at second, delivers, and foul into the ground. Killens, it'll remain a 1-2 count. Infield shading a little bit to the right, especially, of course, with Boley on second. Ashburn from the stretch. Looks in at O'Brien. Off of second is Boley. The lefty delivers again, and a ball high. It'll be a 2-2 count. So good. Excuse me, a 3-2 count. My apologies. Good solid job from Killens to extend the at-bat.
Yeah, and with 2 down, got to be taken off as soon as the pitch is thrown if you're Drew Boley at second base.
Ashburn delivers again and fouled off.
Unless I'm mistaken,
to the 7th pitch of the
outs.
at-bat. Indeed, there are 2 outs. The umpire actually clarified. Yeah, the home plate umpire actually clarified it to us.
It surprises me that Boley wasn't running there right away.
Ashburn from the stretch. Off of second is Boley. Looking in is Lebrault of the Aztecs, and time is called again by Killens. Seen a lot of time called. I will say this game has moved by methodically just because it is a pitcher's duel. Ashburn from the stretch looks at second and delivers. And a ball called. That'll be a walk for Killens, and much to the annoyance of
I just missed a little low there. You see Ashburn out on the mound started to head toward his dugout. I'm telling you, I mean, the times I've seen players start to assume what the call is going to be from an umpire, it's usually backfired when a guy starts to head down towards first base like he's taking a walk on a full count. Saw that twice last week where the umpire rung him up after that. See the pitcher there start to head towards the dugout on what he thinks is going to be a called third strike. And ball 4, batter takes first base. So I don't think you need to test the umpires out here.
They don't like it.
They don't like it. I wouldn't either.
Casala in the box takes strike 1.
Now you got to force out at any base.
Ashburn from the stretch. First and second for Bourne. They got a man in scoring position. It's the first time they've had one all game. And a ball in the dirt. Check swing. Boley almost got gunned out at second, but he'll head back to the base. Boley on second. Killens on first. And Ashburn in a pickle. On deck, of course, Noah Holland, the first baseman, who struck out. And Casala, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking.
Yeah, pretty much almost everyone in the Bourne Mariners lineup has a strikeout after going up against Kirby.
In fact, actually, all of them do, except, nope, all of them do. Nice job, Zach Kirby. And strike 2 called by the home plate umpire to Casala. Casala was the one that was arguing with the umpire after called strike 3 on the slider in the dirt. A 1-2 count again. Casala in trouble. Ashburn from the stretch looks over at Boley at second and delivers. And a ball inside nearly hit Casala. It'll remain a 2-2 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th of a 7-inning game here in Acushnet, Massachusetts.
It's been a fun one so far, Justin. Happy to have you here.
Of course. Gotta have some sort of diversity in the box, right? Ashburn from the stretch looks over at second. O'Brien lining up on the outside part of the plate and a ball outside. Now it's a 3-2 count, and all of a sudden, the wheels have turned.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, a ball hitting the gap could be scoring two runners here. I mean, 3-2 count with 2 outs. Everybody's moving.
Ashburn from the stretch looks in at O'Brien. Ashburn delivers, and a ball outside. That is 2 straight walks for Ashburn. A tough go for the left-hander. He's now put himself in a pickle. 2 outs and bases loaded, and all of a sudden, whatever Zach Kirby did, now if that run scores from third, well, he might be charged with a loss at the end of this if that's how the situation arises. But in the box is Noah Holland. Holland 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. Struck out on 3 pitches.
And I told you, Justin, as soon as the pitcher changed, things might change in terms of hitting here for the Mariners. So far, that's been the case.
Ball in the dirt, 1-0 count.
Had to be licking your chops after going up against that strong pitching of Zach Kirby.
And strike 1 called on Holland. 1-1 count to the right-hander. Holland with the mask that he is supposed to have, of course, to properly do social distancing right around his neck. Ashburn delivers and fouled off. A 1-2 count, and again, Ashburn in prime position to get a strikeout and end the rally from Bourne. The last time he did that was the batter before, Logan Casala. He had a 1-2 count and unfortunately gave up 3 straight balls.
Yeah, this would be a big punch-out.
Holland stepping back into the box, the 1-2. Ashburn going from the full windup with bases loaded. Looks in at O'Brien and delivers. Swing and a miss, down goes Holland. Holland, my apologies. And that will end the inning. Crazy, crazy stuff for the left-hander. He gets himself out of a pickle and remains a 0-0 score going into the 5th. Yankees and Nationals had kicked off at 7:08 p.m. We'll look and see what the update is on that one. Garrett Cole going against Max Scherzer. And the Yankees up 3-1 in the top of the 4th. Max Scherzer giving up 3 runs. That is very unheard of, Max Scherzer, that's for sure.
Giancarlo, 459-foot home run.
Crazy, crazy stuff. And, of course, the Giants and Dodgers kick off tonight at 10:08 p.m. Should be the Dodgers game, especially after signing Mookie Betts to that beautiful 13-year, $388 million contract just a couple days ago. Makes me just shiver because we could be making that money had we actually gone professional, but, you know, things just don't work that way, Cam.
Yeah. Definitely not a professional athlete up here in the booth, but for the locals, Red Sox starting things at 7:30 up against the Orioles. You were talking about the Orioles a little bit there and the prospects they've got in store after the deal to move Machado out. A lot of room for people to step up over there in Baltimore. How about the news today coming out about that football team down near the Capitol, the Washington football team?
Crazy, crazy stuff. And for Cam, a Massachusetts native, has himself a personal fandom for Washington football. He went for the Redskins, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Redskins-Patriots game just a couple years ago, or possibly last year.
It was last year, yeah. I went out to FedEx Field to watch the Patriots beat up on the Skins. No longer the Skins, though. I guess that's out with the old and in with the new. The Washington football team.
Exactly.
Which that's got a real good ring to it. I mean, I can tell you, I enjoyed a lot of the fan creations when it came to some of those names, some creative stuff, the Red Tails, the Red Wolves. As long as you're keeping the same color scheme, I definitely like the color scheme. I was okay with some of those names. I'm sure you saw, though, I don't know exactly who it was. Someone paid for a bunch of trademarks on all the different ideas that people had for the new name. So the Redskins, the Washington football team, they weren't able to change it right away. I think that has something to do with the delay.
That said, a new pitcher on the mound, number 26 for the Bourne Mariners. We'll have to look that one up just to make sure we know exactly who it is. But that is the end of the day for Jay Morris. 59 pitches on the evening and had himself no runs scored. So, solid day. As number 26 fires strike 1 off the outside corner. Number 21, Brandon Solo. Solo, of course, having the error. 23. Having the error at shortstop, but to no avail as Bourne did not score. And a ball a tad high. 1-1 count with no outs in the top of the 5th inning. All right, I've already got I'm 1 for 1 on guessing here. Off speed, that one hit Solo. He didn't move a muscle, and it'll be a hit by pitch for the right-hander as he heads to first. So not a good start off for the relief pitcher for Bourne.
It very well could be Anthony Scampoli. I don't want to tell you for sure, but I would go on a hunch to say it is Anthony Scampoli.
We'll go with the Italian, Anthony Scampoli. Nothing to the...
Antoni. Here's a runner headed to second base. Good throw down there, but actually maybe not the greatest throw, just a little bit left of the bag.
Man in scoring position for Acushnet. Acushnet again trying to be creative as Zach Kirby was lights out through 3 2/3 innings.
Early in the inning, a chance to score one. Guy on second base. You hear the on-deck batter just saying, do a job here, get him over to third. I don't think that's terrible advice in a 0-0 game.
Of course. In the box, of course, Tegan Andre wearing number 30 tonight, the DH for tonight's game. He was 0 for 1 with a flyout to 7, and flyout to left field to be more specific. And that was with bases loaded. And unfortunately, Acushnet was not able to pull anything out. And he bunts. The speedster firing to first, and that'll be an out.
You talk about doing a job, moves the batter over to, or the runner I should say, over to third base. And now pretty much anything in play can score a run.
So 5 pitches in, and number 26, Anthony Scampoli.
Yeah, and you hear the Mariners manager Nate Charette there call out infield in. Infield going to be playing on the grass. Maybe try to make a play at home if you have it. Try to keep this thing knotted up at 0-0.
Scampoli, the full windup. Gets strike one called right around the knees. The batter Jackson Raydell. Raydell 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Only lasted 1 pitch in the box in his first at bat. Solo off of third. Grounded. Playable for the third baseman. Fires to first, and they will call him safe into home, and that is a base hit for the very talented Jackson Raydell. He gets safe at first and then safe at home for Brandon Solo, and just like that, the lead is blown for the Bourne Mariners.
Yeah, it's a little dribbler hit over to third base. Rondeau does a pretty good job at charging it. Has to try to make a tough throw on the run, and just as he throws it, of course, the runner at third is going to head for home. Safe at first, safe at home. The Aztecs are starting to put something together here. Only one out.
Manager Nate Charette came out to talk with Scampoli for a quick second, but Scampoli will stay on the mound and will take on the top of the order. Dylan Solo stepping into the box. Scampoli from the stretch delivers, and a strike one called to Solo. 1-0 score in the top of the 5th inning. Solo 0 for 2 with a flyout to left and a strikeout looking. Off of first is Raydell, delivering his Scampoli and a ball low. 1-1 count with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Infield still the same. Horowitz at second, Holland at first, Quigley at short, and Rondeau at third, delivering a Scampoli and a ball in the dirt. 2-1 count. Solo goes ahead.
Nice pick behind home plate by Casala, though, to hold the runner. I was a catcher back in Little League, so, I like to show love to my position.
Lined into center. That's a base hit for Solo. Solo will head to first. Into second is Raydell. And just like that, another base hit for the Aztecs.
Absolute P out to center there. One of those kind of somewhat scary plays for a pitcher. It's coming right back at you that fast.
Last thing you need is something like Masahiro Tanaka had just a couple weeks ago, which Tanaka got beamed in the head by, I believe it was a DJ LeMahieu single.
I mean, God forbid to have something like that happen in a scrimmage game. That doesn't mean anything.
Of course. Into the box is Eric Lebrault. Lebrault playing second base tonight for the Aztecs. 0 for 1 with a ground out to second and a walk. Swings at strike one. Scampoli looking to limit the damage. He's got a man on first and second and 1 out. A good ground ball could get a double play and end the inning. and fouled off by LeBrawl. The quick 0-2 count for Scampoli. The on-deck batter, Bryant Solkind, will hand the ball back to the catcher, Logan Casala, for the Bourne Mariners. Some bullpen action for the Mariners. Not exactly sure just yet who is warming up, as we are obstructed by the dugout, but regardless, Scampoli stays on the bump. From the stretch, looking at second. It's Raydell. And strike 3 called. There was a pickoff from Casala.
Yeah, the runner at first base was taking off way more than he could chew. A good attempt by Casala, just a little inaccurate with the throw.
With a 1-0 score, Scampoli has 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Into the box, Bryant Solkind. Solkind with a man in scoring position. If he gets one into the gap, that will surely score a run for the Aztecs. Scampoli, looking over at second, delivers again, and a ball in the dirt. Delayed steal, or at least a delayed movement from Raydell. Raydell could have probably had the base if he started early, but instead heads back to second.
Yeah, and at the time, Casala picked up the ball and started to look for an attacking play. Probably could have thrown down to second base in time, but safe to just throw it to third and hold the runners where they are.
Scampoli, looking in at Casala, looks over at second. And grounded over the glove of Scampoli and under the glove of the second baseman as they fire to third base, and that will end the inning regardless. There was an error from the talented second baseman Adam Horowitz, but Horowitz catching Raydell off of third, guns it to third, and that will end the inning. Top of the 5th going down as a good one for the Aztecs. They score 1-0 going into the bottom of the 5th.
Talk about recovering, yeah. Bobbles the play at second base, able to pick it up and be aware of the guy at third base, rounding towards home. Go over to third in time. Nice tag from Rondeau. Get out of the inning. But not before the Aztecs take a lead.
Still on the mound is Mason Ashburn. Ashburn will look to get the solid inning of relief and force it into a situation that will be one that is good for the Aztecs. Aztecs has set 4-5 on the season, looking to go to 500 and possibly put themselves in the top 3 of the standings. And for the Bourne Mariners, looking to remain in the top 3 with a win that would make them 6-4 on the season. No changes so far that we see in the infield or the outfield for the Acushnet Aztecs.
Yeah, and I mean, early in this game, of course, Zach Kirby does a real good job. 11 strikeouts. We mentioned it a couple times now that the next matchup for the Mariners against Braintree, undefeated team. They're going to have a doubleheader this Sunday. Of course, it's going to be some strong pitching there. So maybe not that you had a great showing, but a good test, I guess, of going against strong pitching that they're going to have to go against on Sunday. Even though it resulted in 11 strikeouts here today, you still got to get used to those velocities.
Stepping into the box for the Bourne Mariners will be Tyler Rondeau. Rondeau 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. He faced a total of 4 pitches. Another victim of the strikeout column. It'll look to start things off for Bourne. They're only down by 1, so it's anybody's ball game, regardless of the score. And it's a lefty and righty matchup, as Rondeau's a righty and Ashburn a lefty, so the advantage is in Rondeau's favor. Rondeau wearing number 16 tonight. Ashburn, favoring the left side of the mound, looks in and delivers. And strike 1 called off the outside corner. Again, Aztec pitchers just painting that outside corner for the home plate umpire. He's been calling it all night. It's been very consistent. Rondeau back in the box. The 0-1 count with no outs in the bottom of the 5th. And foul off. It was a bunt attempt from Rondeau. Be an 0-2 count for the right-hander. Excuse me. Bottom of the 5th, my apologies.
Yeah, scoreboard's a little messed up out there.
Ashburn with a quick 0-2 count. Infield, favoring toward the outfield. Expecting Rondeau not to bunt once more. It's an 0-2 count. Ashburn delivers off speed, and that one way above the head of Rondeau. It'll be a 1-2 count.
Is that a Yoshi rainbow ball?
Looked like a knuckleball to me at first, but maybe it was a gyro ball for all we know.
Some kind of ethos pitch?
You never know. Ashburn delivers again, and X-swing from Rondeau. It'll be called ball, a little low. 2-2 count.
Yeah, just barely able to hang up on that one.
Ashburn looking in. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Down goes Rondeau. Another strikeout victim for the Acushnet Aztecs. It'll be 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Stepping into the box is Adam Horowitz. Horowitz 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. He faced a total of 4 pitches on Zach Kirby. Ashburn looking to strike him out once more. Looks in and fouled off by Horowitz. That one hitting off of the concession stand / barn that sits right between the two fields here at Joe Jason Jr. Field. Still a very oddball name, that's for sure. Yeah. Infield still remains the same for Acushnet. LeBroth at second, Solkind at first, Dylan Solo at short, and Jason Bean at third. And a ball low, 1-1 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
Gotta think Joe Jason was a real good guy. Get the field named after him.
Well, when it comes to naming field, it's usually whoever gives the most money. So, Mr. Jason was a very nice man. Ashburn delivers inside fastball, hit to the hands of Horowitz and caught by the third baseman. That was Jason Bean. 2 outs for Ashburn, looking to have another solid inning of relief. Got himself out of the pickle with bases loaded and 2 outs. And into the box will be the leadoff man, Dan Cook. Cook 0 for 2, fly out to right and a strikeout swinging. We'll look to restart that offense for Bourne, which has been quite cold all night.
Yeah, definitely need to start putting something together right now. Cook's typically been a good guy for that. Led off Sunday's game with a single.
Ball high for Ashburn. Ashburn looking in at O'Brien. Picking up the pace just a little bit on his windup. Delivers, and a swing and a miss by Cook. Cook, looking for the fences on that one, had the whole uppercut swing. Misses it just by a hair. Right fielder Cavett Maher currently shitting more toward the right field line. Ashburn from the full windup. And a ball inside. Hearing a lot of chirping from the second baseman shortstop combo Eric LeBrault and Dylan Solo, giving support to Ashburn. But a 2-1 count for Dan Cook. Delivery again and a ball outside. 3-1 count to the right-hander. On deck, Stephen Quigley, who is 0 for 2 as well. He's got himself 2 strikeouts on the night. Ashburn, again toward the left side of the mound, delivers, and a ball outside, and that will send Cook to first base, the first time he has been on base all day.
Not much more you can ask for out of your leadoff guy.
As long as you're consistent with getting on base in whatever ways possible. It's hence why Brett Gardner's had a 12-year career in the MLB. Into the box is Stephen Quigley. Quigley is solid, I would say, 6'1 to 6'2 off the eyesight test. Ashburn from the stretch looking over at Cook. Settles as Cook tries to do a delayed steal and catch Ashburn off guard. It'll be a ball high to Quigley, a 1-0 count. Ashburn settling in once more. Might look for that inside fastball. He had success with it the previous batter. Looks over at first and delivers again, and a ball outside. A 2-0 count to Stephen Quigley. Something with Ashburn now. It's 2 straight innings that he's been giving up walks with a 2-out situation. Ashburn looking in at O'Brien. Bryan lining up on the outside part of the plate. Quigley in the box. Ashburn looks at first and delivers. And strike one called. O'Brien looking for the outside pitch. Instead, he got an inside one, but regardless, it ends in the same result. A strike called on Quigley. Yeah, 2-1 count.
Just barely crept in there.
Clouds starting to fade away. Looks like a pretty nice skyline. The sun has almost completely set as Ashburn steps over to first. Remain a 2-1 count. No tag applied to Dan Cook, as Cook was barely 3 or 4 feet off the bag. For Ashburn, just more of a warning. Ashburn looking in at O'Brien. O'Brien off the outside part of the plate once more. Ashburn settles and delivers. And a ball high. It'll be a 3-1 count to Quigley. And again, a nice advantage for Quigley.
Yeah, 3-1, 2 outs. Telling him to swing away here. Got to make something happen. And you have to think that Ashburn has to pitch to you here.
Ashburn from the stretch looking at first. And strike 2 called off the outside corner again. That outside corner coming in handy for those Aztec pitchers.
Yeah, I think you need to stay ready for that pitch and swing.
Ashburn from the stretch. O'Brien Fading toward the middle of the plate. LeBrault shading towards second, expecting possibly a steal from Dan Cook, but a full count regardless. Stealing is Cook. And swing and a miss. Down goes Quigley on the high off speed. And that will end the inning. 3 strikeouts. A golden sombrero for Mr. Quigley. And that will end the 5th inning. Heading to the top of the 6th. Acushnet still up 1-0.
Good job, Justin. You're doing a really good job.
Hey, you just got to call him like you see him.
Yeah, and, the Mariners starting to get some base runners out there. It's just a matter of putting one in play and getting guys a chance to round the bases. But it's been a low-scoring game. Looks like it's going to stay that way.
For the talented Mason Ashburn, the southpaw, he's currently got himself, just doing my math here, he's got 36 pitches in an inning and 1/3. Had himself a couple of walks. That was the biggest issue for him. He had a walk to start off his relief appearance, and he got another walk that made it first and second. Then he struck out Noah Holland to end that problem. But, of course, in this past inning, he had himself a walk with Dan Cook and then struck out 2 batters with Tyler Rondo and Stephen Quigley to end the inning. Still on the mound is Anthony Scampoli, and for the Aztecs, they already scored 1 run off of him. They'll probably look to get at least another one, maybe get themselves in somewhat more of a lenient position when it comes to the relief pitchers blowing the lead. It's still a 1-0 score, and anything is possible, especially because Bourne, as you said, last time they were in a pitcher's duel, they ended up winning 4-0 off of that grand slam.
Yeah, a little bit of a different game, but same thought to it, yeah. After the pitching changes there last week, Mariners started to score some runs. Like you say, Aztecs just 2 more ups at bat here. They're going to try to probably make a little bit of a bigger cushion for Ashburn to deal with next inning.
And as the sun is almost completely set, it's starting to get pretty dark ahead with the lights covering Joe Jason Jr. Field. We smell Chinese food. There's a smell you do not see.
I smell that too.
A smell you don't get usually at the ballpark, specifically for the MLB. Usually you smell hot dogs, beer, vodka if you got the real hard drinkers, but regardless...
Well, that means we're COVID-free that we can smell that Chinese food, huh? That's a good sign.
It's always good, always good. Stepping in the box, Cabot Maher, 1 for 2, a single, the left field, down the left field line, and of course the fly out to center that had it gone a little bit about 4 or 5 feet deeper would have been a home run ball. Scampoli firing ball 1 near the knees of Maher. Looks in at Casala and delivers. And a ball just a little low for the liking of the home plate umpire. It'll be a 2-0 count. Now, in most cases, you would think that Maher would be taking, but last time we saw an Aztec batter in a 2-0 count, that was Tegan Andre, and he attempted to get some sort of base hit and instead grounded out to second. And strike 1 called off the outside corner. Maher takes.
Yeah, good-looking pitch to swing at.
2-1 count.
Trying to work this count, though, after he had 2 balls. Understandable.
And the full windup is Scampoli. Scampoli settles, and ball just a tad high for the home plate umpire. That one looking like it ended in the strike zone, but looked like it broke just a little too high for the liking. 3-1 count for Maher. Again, prime position to possibly swing. Scampoli from the full windup looks in, and a ball high. Maher will head to first.
Yeah, not necessarily a good sign for the Mariners.
Out comes Nate Charette.
Might have to put the middle infielders in a good spot to try to turn 2 here.
Looks like it might be question mark on whether Scampoli comes back for the rest of this inning, but as of now, it looks like Scampoli's just getting a bit of a pep talk. Sometimes it's the most key thing for managers. It's just getting out there at the right time to kind of let them refocus, settle down, calm themselves. And a lot of times, if you're one of the better managers, like, say, ironically, Buck Showalter, all of a sudden, the pitcher just comes right back out and gets 3 straight outs real quick. And Charette will head on back to the first base dugout, so Scampoli will be left in, looking to possibly get a double play ball. He's got a man on first. That is Cabot Maher. Maher now 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a walk, of course, as well as a fly out to center. Regardless, his on-base percentage will spike. In the box is Jason Bean, the right-hander. 0 for 1 on the day. Takes strike 1 off the inside corner. Good frame job by Logan Casala. Be an 0-1 count with no outs in the top of the 6th. Scampoli looking over at first. Settles and delivers. Outs. Looked outside to me, but it'll be an 0-2 count with no outs.
Yeah, I could agree with that, Justin.
The bottom of the top of the 6th, excuse me. Bean into the box. Now in the hole, we'll have to swing at something that's close. Scampoli settles. Good off speed again. Great frame job by Logan Casala.
Yeah,
almost in the same spot.
Looks like it was in a better spot than the last pitch.
It'll be a 1-2 count for Bean.
But to the umpire's credit, he's been real consistent on that outside half.
1-2 count to Bean. Maher off of first. Scampoli from the stretch. And fouled off by Bean.
Yeah, tip back into the glove, just Casala unable to hang on to it. You can see his frustration there.
Casala looking over at the first base dugout. Nate Charette now outside of the dugout. It's the first time we've seen him all day outside of the dugout. Usually he's been sitting on the edge where the bats are lined up on the fence. Outfield fading toward the warning track. Solid 360 to left center. And fouled off once more by Bean. Still a 1-2 count in the top of the 6th. No outs for Scampoli. New baseball for Scampoli. Might make the difference. Scampoli looking at first. And a ball in the dirt. 2-2 count with no outs in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, good time for a strikeout here to kind of get this inning a little bit more under control.
Fouled off once more by Bean. That will take us to the 6th pitch of the at-bat. Remains a 7th pitch of the at-bat. Remains a 2-2 count on Bean. 1-0 score, the one run being scored by Brandon Solo off of the infield single from Jackson Radell. Scampoli delivers and lined into the glove, at least into the glove of the first baseman. That was Noah Holland. But Holland bounced it off the palm. It'll hit the ground, and depending on what they say that is, it should be an error on the first baseman, Noah
definitely
Holland.
an error, and I'll tell you, there's been a couple of mistakes in the infield today for the Mariners. That looked like it should have been a fairly routine play. It wasn't hit that hard to the first baseman over there, and just not enough time to turn it over to first as the pitcher was covering. It's unfortunate. Yeah, we saw a mistake last inning at second base that actually resulted in a throw out over at third, so didn't do too much damage, but that one might hurt.
Scampoli on the off speed gets strike 1 called on Ian O'Brien. 0 for 2 on the day. Scampoli from the stretch. Off of first is Bean, and off of second, Cabin Maher. Fouled off, and a quick 0-2 count for Scampoli. So an error goes to Holland on that one. First and second, another man in scoring position for the Aztecs, especially with no outs. It's prime position. Scampoli settles in, looking at Casala, and delivers. Swing and a miss. Down goes Ian O'Brien. So a key strikeout for Scampoli. There'll be 1 out in the top of the 6th. In the box, Brandon Solo. Solo, of course, as said before, had a hit by pitch that led to him scoring the lone run of this ball game, hence the 1-0 score in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, you said it, a key strikeout there, and now play at third base for Rondeau. He could tag third and throw to first to try to get out of the inning. A couple double play situations.
Scampoli, inside fastball, fouled off by Solo.
Be a real big inning if the Mariners could just get out of this one. Keep the score where it is. Get to their bottom part of the inning and try to retaliate.
Scampoli from the stretch. Maher off second. Swing and a miss from Brandon Solo. And Solo, flailing the bat out, wasn't happy with that swing. It'll be an 0-2 count for him, and he'll have to defend. Still a man on first and second, and quite frankly, a ground ball on the left side of the infield, specifically between the shortstop Stephen Quigley and third baseman Tyler Rondo, would probably get an infield single for him. It'll be a ball outside. Good off speed from Scampoli, moving away from the plate. It'll remain a 1-2 count for the right-hander. Quigley fading towards second, watching over Maher. Scampoli throws a fastball inside. 2-2 count. 2. Solo.
Yeah, and someone is definitely eating Chinese food, I can tell you that.
Smells like an egg roll. Those egg rolls. Hot dang. Scampoli fires and a ball low. 3-2 count. And just like that, Solo has put himself back into the at-bat. Had himself an 0-2 count. Now it's a 3-2 count, and if he walks, now you got one out with bases loaded. Scary situation for Anthony Scampoli. Scampoli looking in at Casala. Looks over at second, settles, and delivers. Fouled off once more by Brandon Solo.
Yeah, nice foul there by Solo. It was going to be real close on the inside part of the plate. Might have been a ball, but just anything close, you probably want to swing just to be safe. Foul it off. See another pitch. See another day.
Scampoli settling in, looking at Casala. Off of first. Jason Bean, and a ball 4 called off the outside corner. Will be bases loaded with 1 out for Scampoli, who has struggled to get that knockout pitch. It's really just been a struggle for him all game.
Yeah, you see Casala behind home plate kind of slump his shoulders down because that's a pitch that's been called both ways all night long. Unfortunately, that time for the Mariners, just called for a ball 4. Load the bases with 1 out.
So to second goes Jason Bean. Kevin Maher heads to third. Maher looking to be the second run of the night for the Aztecs. Scampoli from the full windup. Swing and a miss by Tegan Andre. Andre 0 for 1 on the day. A fly out to left field and a 1-3 fielder's choice.
Yeah, taking a big daddy hack there on the first pitch. Can't really fault him for that.
Scampoli fires strike 2 on Tegan Andre. As said, Andre might be the MVP of this batting lineup as he's got the lone RBI, and if he gets one to the gap, he might have himself 2 more. Scampoli from the full windup, 0-2 count. Corners in for Bourne. And a ball inside. Good off speed from Scampoli. And Charette not happy with that one. He slammed his book, his little composite notebook that he's got there with some notes on whether it's the Aztecs or just defensive schemes. Slams the book against the wall. Wasn't happy with that call. A 1-2 count for Andre. And a ball outside. A 2-2 count for Scampoli. Again, putting himself in a hole as he had himself 0-2, and now it's 2-2.
Yeah, could really, really use a strikeout.
Scampoli from full windup. Outfield still shading toward the track. Swing and a miss. Down goes Andre. Another big strikeout for Scampoli. That makes it 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, he's not making it easy for himself, but right now he's fighting back. Big strikeout there, make it 2 outs. Bases still loaded, but now infield playing in a regular position. And what do you have up, the 9-hitter now?
That is Jackson Raydell. My apologies, actually. I said Tegan Andre scored. It was Jackson Raydell that scored it off of that infield single. Got himself the speedster down to first in time, and following that, Brandon Solo scored immediately to make it the 1-0 score, and hence what we are at now. Raydell looking for another RBI on the night. The full windup is Scampoli. And a ball high. It was a ball outside and a ball high. That'll make it a 2-0 count to Raydell. Raydell may say the heck with it and try to swing, but if you're the head coach of the Aztecs, you got to think they're going to be very conservative, especially with the 2-out situation.
Yeah, something I'm picking up on too, Justin. Left and right center fielders are pretty close to the wall out there. Well, definitely a lot of space to get one down.
I was wrong about that one. Raydell swings off the inside fastball. Go back to the fence, and it'll be a 2-1 count to the right-hander. Right fielder Dan Cook shading a little bit toward the right field line.
Right.
There's a
Cook out there in right field doesn't seem like he's out there too deep, but it just seems like the left and center fielders are a few steps further than him.
And strike 2 called off the outside corner, again in favor of Scampoli. A 2-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Raydell is 1 for 2 on the day. Ground out to short and a single. It got that one lone RBI of the game. Scampoli from the full windup looking in at Casala. delivers, and fouled off once more by Raydell.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there to stay alive. Foul one off again. See another pitch.
Back in the box is Raydell. Bases loaded. Maher off of third. Scampoli delivers. Swing and a miss. Down goes Raydell. Raydell flopping away at that one. That'll be another strikeout for Scampoli, and that will end the top of the sixth. No runs scored by the Aztecs. They struggle again with men in scoring position, specifically on third base. And for the Bourne Mariners, they keep their hopes alive, down 1-0, heading to the bottom of the sixth.
Yep. Again, we're not going to send it to a break. Trying to entertain, but Justin, let me ask you, do you know how to just advance the inning here on the scoreboard?
Indeed, I do. You see that wonderful button called inning?
Inning.
Ta-da.
Oh, that's the one.
And ta-da.
What do we got?
And we're at the bottom of the sixth. So give it, just hold it for a second. We'll see what happens.
Nice. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate the help.
Not a problem at all.
Still a one-run game, though. Bottom half of the inning now, bottom of the sixth. Mariners with the chance to come back.
Crazy, crazy stuff. Mason Ashburn still on the mound. Based on the pitch count he's got himself 36 pitches. You have to think if he gets out of this inning in under 15, the head coach of the Aztecs might say the heck with it and just go with him for the seventh, but who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. I think if you're asking me, you might try to just get him through this inning and have somebody else close it out. Bring in a fresh arm, especially if it's a one-run lead, but it looks like this is setting up to be quite the game, Justin. Chose a good one to come out to for your first game.
Indeed. Stepping into the box will be the middle of the order for Bourne. Mitch Lundholm will step into the box. Stephen quickly struck out to end that top of the bottom of the fifth inning. Now Lundholm, who is 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts swinging, will look to get on base or at least get the ball in play. Ashburn, lefty on lefty matchup, so the favor is in his. Ashburn looking in. Lining up on the inside part of the plate, and a ball inside. Ashburn looking in, settles, and delivers. And a ball high.
See, you got your big left-handed hitter, your third hitter, 2-0 count. I don't know if there's a signal coming from third base, but I'm saying swing away.
Ashburn settles and delivers. And strike one called right around the knees of Lundholm.
That's a tough strike.
2-1 count for the left-hander. As said, Lundholm standing about a solid 6'3", 6'4". Ashburn, favoring toward the right side of the mound, looks in and delivers. And a ball low. 3-1 count.
I just want to see a home run, I'll be honest.
Happens to the best of us, my friend. Ashburn, from the full windup, settles and delivers. Lined up the middle, that'll be a base hit for Lundholm. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first base hit of the day for the Bourne Mariners. Crazy, crazy stuff. Pitching staff for the Aztecs has been lights out.
It's coming at a good time, I'll tell you that.
But now they have a man on first. Into the box is Drew Boley. Boley, 0 for 2 on the day. He had an E6 that got him on base. That was the first base runner all day for Bourne in the 4th inning.
This
and then
is
the
Grand
strikeout
Slam hitter from Sunday.
Boley, with an 0-2 setup, will look to get Lundholm, who's on first, into scoring position. Delivering is Ashburn. Swing and a miss by Boley. Boley, as said, is one of the more well-known players, but also more visible because he's the only player that has an ankle brace on his left ankle. Delivering is Ashburn, and strike 2 called on Boley. A quick 0-2 count for Ashburn.
Did you guys trade ankle bracelets?
I was never one to wear ankle bracelets. I don't like any kind of jewelry. Ashburn from the stretch. Lundholm off of first, covered by... And strike 3 is called. Boley, even calling it himself, started walking toward the dugout, so that will end that rally set up for Boley, who could have had himself an opportunity to give them the lead for the Mariners. Into the box will be Braden Killens, as the cloud coverage is actually roaming a little bit in center field, and if you look real deep enough, there's a little bit of a flash, so there's a couple thunderstorms rolling through.
I noticed that too, Justin. I didn't want to say anything, but definitely, yeah, you're right.
Ashburn delivering, and strike 1 called to Killens. Killens 0 for 1. a walk, got himself to second and in scoring position, but didn't score, and then a strikeout swinging back in the second.
There's no audible thunder, so nothing to be worried about, I guess. Just a cool aesthetic, if anything.
Ashburn with the 0-1 looking at first. Lundholm, a good lead. And Lundholm stealing off speed, called strike 2, and a bad throw to second will let Lundholm get into scoring position for
Not the
Braden
first time
Killens.
we've seen Lundholm take second base this season. Tall guy. Able to get down there pretty quickly. Had plenty of time to slide in. And it's important because now the tying run at second base.
Ashburn from the stretch. Lundholm taking a substantial lead off of second. Killens in the box. The 0-2 and time called as Ashburn was not happy with that one because he was in the middle of his stretch windup. In the box is Killens. Ashburn from the stretch. Looks over at second. And delivers. And a ball high. 1-2 count. To Braden Killens. Ashburn looking at second. And a ball in the dirt. Still a 1-0 score in the bottom of the 6th. For the Bourne Mariners at 5-4 on the season, down to their final 5 outs. As said, this is only a 7-inning game, not a 9-inning game. Ashburn from the stretch looking at second. Delivers. And strike 3 call. Down goes Killens. Killen did not look too happy about that one, but it'll be another strikeout victim for Mason Ashburn.
Yeah, it's just that spot that's been hammered all game long, that outside part of the plate. Got to kind of pick up on the umpire's consistency there. Note a swing.
Ashburn from the stretch. In the box. Logan Casala. Lined. Catchable for the second baseman, and that will be caught by Adam Horowitz. Excuse me. Eric Lebrault. Getting my defensive cues mixed up. But that will end the bottom of the 6th. Bourne in their home stadium. Down 1-0. Down to their final 3 outs. We'll see what happens in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, no, it's not important for us to know. Looks like we're going to get another pitching change here, Jay. It's been a close game, though. A lot of fun. It's not over yet. A little bit of a break here in the action in the middle of the inning. Actually, at the start of the 7th inning. Mariners just brought in a new pitcher. See if I can't flag the coach to get a name. I'll just mute the mic real quick as I haul her out. So Joe Frechette would be the pitcher now. Typically in the batting order, I'm playing third base if I'm not crazy. See if I can't get some more information though. Yeah, you're good.
So Joe Frechette will be on the mound. The right-hander will come in to get the top of the 7th. Hopefully keep it a 1-0 score against the Acushnet.
The Acushnet?
Acushnet Aztecs. My goodness. Still a 1-0 score. It's been nail-biter ever since that top of the 4th inning, of which Acushnet was able to get 1 run scored.
Acushnet.
Acushnet. My jeez. It's because it's Aztecs, so I immediately
like
think
your take on it better. Acushnet.
Regardless, it'll be the top of the order for the Acushnet Aztecs. That is Dylan Solo, Eric Lebrault, and Bryant Solkind. But as I said, Joe Frechette.
He played his high school ball at Plymouth South.
No, so you already don't like him.
No, I have absolutely nothing against Plymouth South.
Frechette from the full windup. Dylan Solo stepping in the box. I said he's 1 for 2. Excuse me, 1 for 3, my apologies. Fly out to left, a strikeout looking, and a single up the middle.
Actually, it was
Frechette delivers, and a ball high.
Frechette was to graduate this year, so he had his season cut short there in May.
Unfortunate for the right-hander, but he still gets some summer ball in him. 1-0 count for the righty. And a ball outside. 2-0 count to Solo.
Yeah, worked the wing a little bit out here in the Cranberry Baseball League.
Frechette delivers, and strike one called on Solo. Aztec fans not happy with that one. It'll be a 2-1 count for the left-hander, righty and lefty matchup in favor of Solo. Infield creeping in just a little bit from third base, and off speed called strike 2, right around the knees of Solo. 2-2 count for Frechette, looking to just keep the damage as is, a 1-0 score in the top of the 7th. Outfield cheating a little bit to the right, of course, with Solo being a lefty. Frechette settles and delivers. And strike 3 called, down goes Solo, and a good strikeout start for Joe Frechette. Stepping into the box now.
Yep, just keep it at 1 run.
Looks like
Give
it
your
is.
guys a solid chance.
Looks like it is Eric Lebrault. Lebrault has said 0 for 2 on the day, a walk,
Actually,
a strikeout looking, and a ground
Might be
out
a
to second.
substitution.
It looks like it is a substitution, but I'm not exactly sure just who it is. Frechette fires a tad high, a 1-0 count with 1 out in the top of the 7th.
I can't argue that, Justin.
Happens to the best of us.
Mystery player number 3.
It's the Cranberry Baseball League. What do you expect? Frechette from the full windup delivers, and strike 1 called right around the belt buckle.
I mean, it's not that we wouldn't expect to know who he is.
Frechette,
Nothing against the league.
the full windup, delivers, and a ball inside. Good off speed. It was a slider, it looked like, from Frechette, but just a little bit too inside for the home plate umpire. Frechette settling in once more, delivers, swing and a miss. That'll be a 2-2 count for the right-hander, looking for another strikeout. If you can get 3 strikeouts in the inning, that's the best a pitcher can ask for. Frechette looking in at Casala, and a ball outside. 3-2 count for Frechette. Got himself a total of 10 pitches. Frechette delivers, and ball 4, a little low, as Lebrault will head this first.
Yeah, and you saw some disagreement on some of those calls there. Actually comes back to play in effect as now the batter will take first base instead of a called strike 3.
In the box, Bryant Solkind, who's currently 0 for 3 with an error on second base, got himself on base. Fly out to short and a ground out to the pitcher, which was at the time Jay Morris, the starter for tonight's game. Not slotted for the loss. Right now, Anthony Scampoli is slotted for the loss. Frechette from the stretch for the first time in this relief appearance. Off of first is Lebrault. Pickoff attempt in favor of the Aztecs. Lebrault is safe. 1-0 count with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Frechette from the stretch. And a ball in the dirt. Bounce off the glove of Casala. He was able to let that one stay in front of him. Had it gone behind him, it would have been a surefire thing that Lebrault would have been heading to second. It'll be a 2-0 count for Solkind. Infield, fading toward the outfield grass. Frechette delivers. Grounded. Possible double play ball. Frechette fires. They'll get the out at second. It was an oddball play. The shortstop, that was Stephen Quigley, was in front of the bag. Adam Horowitz right behind him, and Frechette firing a laser fastball right at him.
Yeah, it's one of those awkward plays where you're throwing down to second base and there's no one at the base yet, so you're kind of just trying to hover it over the bag. For shortstop and second baseman were kind of miscommunicating too as to who was fielding it, but I guess they'll say that Quigley had his foot on the bag at the time he made the catch. Aztecs were kind of arguing that. Still 2 outs instead.
The ball will be called to the batter. That is Cabot Maher. Maher, who walked last time, that was back in the 6th inning, got to third base but was unable to score as the Aztecs, even though they're still up 1-0, of course, in the driver's seat of this game, were unable to score again with men in scoring position. Nate Charette will come on out to talk with Frechette. Kind of a rhyming, intertwined name system there. A 1-0 count on Maher. Maher taking some practice swings. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Bourne down to their final 3 outs. And for the Aztecs, looking to just add on that insurance run, because this game has been nothing short of a nail-biter, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. 2 down. Mariners just trying to get to their bottom half, get their final at-bats, and see if they can't get a rally together. Only down by 1 run.
Solheim will be charged with a 1-4 fielder's choice. As said, that went the ball that was thrown from Frechette to second went under the glove of Stephen Quigley, but into the glove of Adam Horowitz, and they still got the out. So regardless, 2-out situation for Frechette. Frechette from the stretch. And strike 1 called to Maher. Leading off of first, of course, is Solheim. Frechette, again from the stretch. Looks in at Casala, who's lining up on the outside part of the plate. And a ball outside goes behind Casala, and that'll be an easy pass ball situation that will send Solheim to second base.
Yeah, that changes things up a little bit.
Of course it does, and for Cabot Maher, who's got himself a hit on the day and has been on base twice out of 3 plate appearances, if he gets himself a base hit, that will surely score Solheim from second and make it a 2-0 score. 1 run that could be quite vital to the Aztecs claiming victory. Frechette from the stretch. Solheim off of second. Looks in at Casala, who's lining up on the inside part of the plate. And strike 2 called on Maher. Frechette has already got himself 1 strikeout in this relief appearance and 2/3 of an inning pitched. Settles, looks at Solheim as the shortstop Stephen Quigley shades a little bit toward the bag, and Frechette will step off to refresh himself. Crowd still in full force here tonight. Social distancing still a massive thing here in the Massachusetts area. Hence why the state has had such success containing the virus. Lined, that will be a foul ball. Look like a 50-50. Right off the white line. It will remain a 2-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the 7th for Cabot Maher. Had that been fair, that would have easily scored Solheim, made it a 2-0 score.
Yeah, that was hit pretty hard, too. Like you said, kind of a bang-bang play. Tough one to see with the naked eye.
Frechette delivers again. Swing and a miss. Down goes Maher. Another strikeout for Joe Frechette. And that will end the top of the 7th. Bourne down to the final 3 outs. We head to the bottom of the 7th. A 1-0 score in favor of Acushnet.
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, things are going good, you know.
Yeah.
It's been a solid day so far.
Who do we got due up here?
Let's see, shall we? Holland, Rondeau, Horowitz, the bottom of the lineup. And Mason Ashburn looking to end the game. I believe in the situation, Mr. Kirby will get the win on this one, because they scored it when he was still in the game. Oh.
Yeah, again, I mean, this is the Cranberry Baseball League. It's presented by WMUA Sports. Me and Justin go to UMass Amherst. We are part of the student radio station there. Happy to have an opportunity to get out here and broadcast some baseball games for the Cranberry League. We're primarily covering the Mariners this year. It's been a lot of great baseball to watch, and another one here tonight where we come to the bottom of the 7th. Mariners a chance to come back and walk off the win.
So for Mason Ashburn, he's still on the mound. 51 pitches for the Southpaw. Looking to end the game and put Acushnet into the top 3 of the standings. Ashburn going from the full windup, as always favoring the left side of the mound from our point of view. Into the box, however. Looks like it's Noah Holland, as it'll be strike 1 called. 0-1 count with no outs in the bottom of the 7th. Ashburn looking to achieve victory for the Aztecs. Delivers, and a ball in the dirt. 1-1 count. Bourne Mariners dugout, which has been silent for the past 2 or 3 innings, now all of a sudden blowing up because they have prime opportunity to at least get themselves a tie game going into the 8th. Ashburn from the full windup. Delivers again. Line deep and far. If that's fair, that looks like it's gone. And what are they going to say? That is fair, and it will be off the fence. That's a home run. Hot dang. Looked like the left field. Oh, instead they're going to say it's in play. So regardless, it's a home run. That's a tie game. Heck of a job from Noah Holland. My goodness. Crazy, crazy stuff. He lined that one deep and far to left field.
I don't think it's Holland. I think there might have been another substitution, but what just happened? I mean, you hear it ching on the fence over there and left.
And the left fielder, that was Brandon Solo, didn't move a muscle. So we thought it was gone, but it was in play. So regardless, an inside the park home run. It's a 1-1 score in the bottom of the 7th. Still no outs. Crazy, crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I'm interested to know what happened over there in the corner and left, what it hit or if it went out of the park or not. Oh,
line high, but playable in the dead zone, and that'll hit the ground. Into first is Tyler Rondo. He gets his first hit of the day.
Wow. And just like that.
All of a sudden, we have a walk-off opportunity. Ashburn going from the stretch. Hadn't gone from the stretch yet in this inning, but now he'll have to with Rondeau on first. Into the box is Adam Horowitz. Horowitz, 0 for 2. A strikeout swing and a flyout to third. Ashburn going from the stretch. My apologies for that. Bunted. Playable for Ashburn. Fires to first. And that'll be an out for the Acushnet Aztecs. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Does the job, though, as Rondeau moves to second.
Yep. And it brings up a pretty solid hitter in Dan Cook. He's got a guy on second base. Chance to win the game here. And what more can you ask for out of a baseball game? This has been a lot of fun.
In the box is Cook. Cook 0 for 2. A flyout to right, a strikeout swinging, and a walk. We'll take a ball high. 1-0 count with 1 out. In the bottom of the 7th. Cook settling in. In scoring position is Rondeau. From the stretch is Ashburn. Ashburn settles and delivers. And a ball high. 2-0 count. And time will be called as the head coach of the Aztecs will come out to talk. And instead, they will intentionally walk Cook. So 2 pitches wasted for Ashburn for an apparent no reason as Cook heads to first. First and second for the Mariners. And a conversation on the mound for the Aztecs. Stepping into the box will be Stephen Quigley. Quigley, currently 0 for 3 on the day. 3 strikeouts, all of them swinging. He's got himself a golden sombrero. Last thing he wants is to get the full chicken, which would be 4. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Aztecs. We'll have to look that one up. Number 28, that is.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
It's not anyone in the lineup. Might be Justin Sylvia.
Yep, we'll do some more research. But a tie game now. I should probably keep up with the scoreboard. Hate to go radio silent on you, sorry.
No problemo. As said, we have been struggling to find out the substitutions all game, so our apologies to you for that.
No live stats here for this. What's the number?
28. No help there. Shall we guess what?
We'll figure it out.
Let's say. Regardless, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. A 1-1 score. A home run from the utility guy that came in for the Bourne Mariners wearing number 3. Ripped one deep and far into left field. It hit off the fence. It looked like it was a goner.
It might have just been Adam Horowitz.
No, it was not Adam Horowitz because Adam Horowitz
Right.
is on. He was the one that got Tyler Rondeau to second. Weird stuff. Weird stuff.
So it might have
Regardless,
been number 2 who came in.
regardless, Stephen Quigley will step into the box. Intentional walk, as said, for Dan Cook. First and second for the Mariners. The new pitcher on the mound. Left-hander Quigley looking to avenge himself. He's got 3 strikeouts as said on the day, 0 for 3. Righty and lefty matchup in favor of Quigley. Looking over at second, delivers, and fouled off by Quigley. An 0-1 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. On deck, Mitch Lundholm. Lundholm, who had a single in his most recent at-bat, got himself to second off a stolen base. And if Lundholm gets himself another base hit, will most likely score Tyler Rondeau from second. From the stretch, Quigley in the box. Delivered. And a ball inside. 1-1 count to Quigley. Leading off of second is Rondeau. Cook off of first. From the stretch is the Aztecs pitcher. Quigley in the box. Delivers. And a ball outside. 2-1 count for Quigley. Not yet a prime position for him to swing, but still a 2-1 count. You never know, and especially for the pitcher who's been struggling to get the outside pitch going for the Aztecs. Might try to go inside. The delivery fouled off again by Quigley. 2-2 count for the Mariners. Damage already being done as Mason Ashburn gave up the solo inside the park home run. Made it a 1-1 score. Still a nail-biter, and for Acushnet as well as the Bourne Mariners, it seems like they're just naturally good at making games exciting. From the stretch, looking over at second, Rondeau leading off the bag. Cook off of first. The delivery. Swing and a miss. Down goes Quigley. And that'll be the second out of this half inning. Lundholm stepping into the box. Another lefty on righty matchup in favor of Lundholm. Lundholm 1 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, he hit that single up the middle last time up on a rocket.
Nearly took the head off of Mason Ashburn. From the stretch, Lundholm in the box delivers. And strike one called on the off speed right around the knees. Lundholm back in the box. Catcher framing on the outside corner of the plate. Delivers. Fouled off by Lundholm. 0-2 count, a quick 0-2 count at that for center fielder. Lundholm in the box again. The 0-2. Popped up. Playable for the catcher. Will he make it? And indeed he does. That will end the 7th. A 1-1 score off the solo home run from the Bourne Mariners. And that will hit us to the 8th inning. We go to extras here in Acushnet, Massachusetts.
Yeah, just enough to kind of keep things going there. Nice inside the park home run, I guess we're assuming, because
they called it fair. They did not clarify that it was going to be a home run. There was no wiggling of the finger as they usually spin it around for a home run. Instead, it was an inside the park home run. And for the Mariners, a 1-1 score. Back on the mound is Joe Frechette. Frechette looking to make it a quick top of the 8th. And for the Mariners, prime opportunity to walk it off in the bottom of the 8th. Logan Casala still behind the dish. At first base, that is now Drew Boley. Third base looks like it is still Tyler Rondeau, as well as shortstop being Stephen Quigley, and second base being Adam Horowitz. Center field still Mitch Lundholm, Dan Cook in right field, and left field looks like it might be.
Yeah, it's
the utility guy. Yeah, it's the utility guy who hit the home run.
Who did it used to be in left?
It was Drew Boley. Boley's now
right
at
now he's
first.
at first.
So out comes Holland. Holland got yanked out.
Yeah, maybe not Nate Charette. That's the manager. Not Joe Frechette. He's on the mound. See, these numbers change. It's tough to know. So we go to extras.
In the box, Jason Bean. Bean, who himself is 0 for 2 with an error on first baseman Noah Holland. Grounded out to the pitcher that was Jay Morris at the time and then walked. Got himself to second, but did not score. Frechette delivers and a ball inside. 1-0 count with no outs in the top of the 8th, a 1-1 score. Bourne made it wild regardless in the bottom of the 7th with a solo inside the park home run. Frechette delivers, lined up the middle, into the glove of Horowitz, fires to first, and that'll be the first out of the half inning. As Frechette nearly lost his cap on that one, went under his glove, but regardless, his second baseman made the play.
Yeah, it was a hard hit ball up the middle.
Go down as a 4-3 in the books. That'll bring up the... I believe this is McGahern, the new catcher in the game for Ian O'Brien. Delivering is Frechette, and a swing and a miss from McGahern. 0-1 count with 1 out in the top of the 8th, a 1-1 score. Bourne looking to make themselves 6-4 and keep that winning streak alive.
Yeah, it's Alex Sorrenti out there in left field who had that inside the park home run, I just found out.
And strike 2 called, just a tad high for the liking of McGahern. He didn't swing. It'll be an 0-2 count on the right-hander. Full windup is Frechette and a ball high. So as said to all of you, Alex Sorrenti was the one that came in strong as a utility man, making his first appearance of the night and hit an inside-the-park home run to make it a 1-1 score against the Acushnet Aztecs. Frechette fires and a swing and a miss on the high fastball to McGahern. 2 outs in the top of the 8th, and stepping into the box will be Brandon Solo. Solo, as said, had that hit by pitch that led to the one lone run being scored by the Acushnet Aztecs. And he got walked in the top of the 6th, but did not score. Frechette from the full windup settles and delivers. A ball high over the head of Solo. Casala lining up on the inside part of the plate. Frechette delivers. Popped up over the press box. It'll be a 1-1 count, excuse me. Frechette. The full windup, Casala settling on the middle of the plate. Off speed, over the head of Solo. Be a 2-1 count. Frechette looking at it, Casala infield towing the outfield grass. Swing and a miss by Solo. Solo with a whopping swing. He's got very high uppercut swing, which if he connects, I'm sure it'll go 400 feet, but in this case, has missed twice now. 2-2 count for the right-hander. Ready and ready matchup. Frechette looking in. Towing the infield grass is Rondeau, and a ball outside. 3-2 count to Brandon Solo. Frechette from the full windup settles and delivers. Swing and a miss. Down goes Solo. Another strikeout for the talented Joe Frechette, and that will send it to the bottom of the 8th. Still a tie game, 1-1 in favor of no one.
Oh, wow. What a ball game. And it's getting late, but we play on.
What's the score of that Yankees game now, Cam?
See if we can't find that out for you. Still 4-1. They're in a delay.
Well, hot dang.
Red Sox game tomorrow at 7:30. Another game tonight starting at 10 o'clock. The Giants and the Dodgers.
Did we ever find out who that relief pitcher was?
No.
I guess we'll go with Jackson Atwood.
It's possible that this is his first appearance. I don't think it was Jackson Atwood. I actually thought it might have been Justin Baker if he grew a beard.
Works for me. So for those that needed confirmation, as said, we were having a little bit of trouble finding out the substitutes because they don't give us a full lineup, unfortunately. Justin Baker is on the mound. Baker going from the full lineup will deal with Drew Boley. Boley, who has hit dingers before, in danger of doing it again. Fires and lined near the right field line, but foul. 0-1 count to the right-hander. Boley, who is currently 0 for 3 on the day, an E6, and a strikeout swinging and a strikeout looking. Made for a rough day at the plate for the right-hander. But he's played himself some solid defense as he's been in left field and first base in this game, replacing Noah Holland at first, back in the 6th inning. Baker from the full windup. Behind the dish, of course, McGahern. The delivery, and fouled off by Boley once more. Rising fastball right on the inside of the bat. Baker on the right side of the mound, looking for off speed with the 0-2, delivers. Line into left field, and that'll be a base hit for Drew Boley. Picked up by the left fielder. That is Brandon Solo. And Boley now represents the game-winning run for the Bourne Mariners. Interesting enough, as said, the Bourne Mariners are the home team, but it's being played, the game, in Acushnet, Massachusetts. So, interesting stuff nonetheless. But that's the first base hit for Boley. He gets on base for the second time today. In the box stands Braden Killens. Baker from the stretch looking in at McGahern. Swing and a miss by Killens. Killens, 0 for 2 on the day. A walk, got himself into scoring position but did not score. A strikeout swinging and a strikeout looking. Boley off at first. A conservative lead from Boley. Baker from the stretch. McGahern lining up on the outside part of the plate. Delivers. Past the glove of the third baseman, that is Jason Bean, fired over to first, and they will call him out. The Bourne Mariners bench not happy with that one. Jason Bean firing a bullet over to Bryant Solkind. Looked like, at least from the perception as of now, it looked like Killens might have beaten that out, but they call him out regardless. And a key opportunity for the Bourne Mariners to get men on first and second with no outs now leads to them having a man on second. He moves over with the fielder's choice. But now scoring position and a base hit opportunity for Logan Casala. Baker from the stretch. Fires and a ball low. Leading off of second is Drew Boley. He now represents the game-winning run. Casala in the box. McGahern giving signals to Baker. Baker, looking in, delivers. And a ball high. Two-0 count to Casala, the catcher in tonight's game for the Bourne Mariners. Baker, looking at second, delivers. And strike one called. 2-1 count with one out here in the bottom of the 8th. We are in extras. May sound odd to you, but it's only a 7-inning game in the Cranberry Baseball League. Baker settles and delivers. And strike 2 called. 2-2 count to Logan Casala. Cranberry Baseball League being presented by WMUA Sports. I'm Justin Macagnan along with Cameron Sibert. A wild one in the making and a man in scoring position for the Bourne Mariners. They look to get to their 6th straight win. Baker looking in at second and delivers. And a ball low to Casala. A 3-2 count. Off speed looking good for Baker, just out of the zone of the home plate umpire. A 3-2 count. If Casala walks, now you got first and second. And a prime opportunity for Alex Sorrenti, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who hit the inside the park home run back in the bottom of the 7th to make it a 1-1 score as it remains now. Baker from the stretch. And a ball in the dirt. Casala will walk. A tough go for the right-hander. This is now first and second for the Mariners. Sorrenti stepping into the box. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a solo home run, or inside the park home run to be more specific. Boley leading off of second. Casala off of first. No movement from the first baseman, Bryant Sulkind. And a ball high to Sorrenti. Especially with how this is going, it's going to be a very conservative approach with Sorrenti. There may not be much fastballs being thrown to the right-hander, especially after what he did just an inning ago. Baker looking at second. Looks in at McGahern. And a ball high. McGahern was leaning toward the outside part of the plate, something the Aztecs definitely trying to take advantage of with the home plate umpire favoring that outside corner pitch. But Baker has been struggling as he favors the right side of the mound. Looks in at second. McGahern back against the outside part. Grounded. Playable for the third baseman. Double play ball over the head of the second baseman. Rounding third is Boley. And that will be the game winner. The game ends 2-1 in 8 innings. Crazy, crazy stuff. An error from Jason Bean sends the Bourne Mariners to 6-4. A brutal loss for the Acushnet Aztecs. Crazy, crazy stuff, Cameron. And you know what? I'm very glad I got to witness it.
Yeah, glad you can make it out too, Jay. It comes down to be that Alex Sorrenti inside the park home run. He's kind of the hero of the day. In the bottom of the 7th inning, comes up at a big time, pinch hit, ropes one down the third base line, just barely stays fair, and I guess didn't make it out of the park. Just kind of hung up there in the bottom of the fence. He was able to round the bases and score, send the game to extra innings, gave his team a chance to win. I apologize, and Mariners come out on top. That's a big one.
A win for the Mariners makes them 6-4. They will play, if I'm not mistaken, you said it was Blacktree?
Braintree.
Braintree. I'm getting close.
Not from the area. That's understandable.
But anyway, Mariners 6-4. They remain in the top 3 standings of the Cranberry Baseball League, and for Acushnet, another brutal loss. Their defense was great. Their pitching was fantastic, but unfortunately, they come up short in this one. 2-1 the final score. Bourne comes home with a win. We'll be back again on Sunday at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. I'll be on the call along with Colin Casey. Maybe we'll see a cameo appearance from Cameron, but just see what happens depending on his Brockton golf tournament. Regardless of what happens, I'm Justin Macagnan along with Cameron Sibert saying so long from Acushnet, Massachusetts, presenting Cranberry Baseball League baseball here on WMUA Sports.
Well done.